people can read the rule set that's in the event, linked in the event. Sorry, someone dragged me. But the basic rules are to roleplay, to have legitimate reasons for what you're doing in the roleplay of your nation, and remember to have fun, to be an RP, not just talk out of RP, but to like act as a leader of your nation, as leaders of your nation, and have a good game. I think everyone is here. Cool. So no one have anything to join us? GC?
Well, if we're good, then people can disperse into their rooms if nothing else.
All right, let's get this thing going. Let me turn sound on real quick. I put it off the other day. Let me know if it's too loud. A little bit loud. Turn it down. All right, so we are doing a new game of Victoria 3. Obviously, the previous one stopped. That was the one where I was playing the East India Company. We are starting a new one today. This is a big game. Guys, I don't know how stable this will be. We got a lot of signups. We got 50 people to sign up for this game, and they all showed up. So, I don't know how the server will handle this. We've got a good host, but it's a big game. This is a big game, so we'll see. I've done a lot of pre-roleplay. I've been really interested in Iran recently. I'm doing that in William Dawn game, and I'm also doing this one. There's been a bunch of pre-roleplay that has happened. I've done a little alternative timeline stuff. I'll try and go over it. We may get pulled into a talk with the Russians because we pissed them off, which I'll go over if we get pulled into a dispute talk with the British and the Russians. Let me set everything up really quickly because it looks like we're just gonna roll and roll. So no time to do anything here. Goddamn. Jesus Christ, we didn't get any time at all. Holy shit. Hastening. My God. First things first, we need to secure construction. We need 2 construction sectors. We'll build one in Tabriz and we'll build one in Isfahan. When those are done, we will be able to go to iron freight buildings. So we'll need to build an iron industry as well. So we'll build 2 of those and then a couple more logging camps. And looks good. We've got a pretty good surplus in government right now. I'm gonna go up a little bit. Thank you for all SRJ. And what's up, nerd? Good to see you, man. And we'll up our government wages a wee bit as well. Actually, we'll up them a lot of that. We might as well just get the people to like us. We've got a lot in our treasury. I'll try and go over the current state of things if we have the time right now. Rename my VC. I'll see what we can, I don't know how quickly things will happen. Okay, so to go over the big points, in case people just run in really quickly, I'll hit the bullet points really quick. What's up, Lollipop? We are going to be doing a joint invasion of Afghanistan alongside the British due to the fact that the city of Herat, which controlled Afghanistan during this time period, has orchestrated a series of rebellions in Khorasan. When that's done, we've got the backing of the British and the French to do an intervention into Khiva and Turkmenia, where the Turkish tribes also have been supporting rebellions in Iran during this time period. So we're going to be able to secure our borders. Some RP stuff that has also happened in the region. The Sikh Empire has orchestrated a deal with the French wherein they will be entering as a protectorate of the French Empire, meaning there's now a 3rd player in the Great Game. The Great Game being, during this time period, an ongoing conflict diplomatically and militarily between the Russians and the British over Central Asia and the Middle East, and then of course Iran and the surrounding area. Note that the French have will be diplomatically puppeting the Sikhs. There's a 3rd player in the Great Game, so this is going to be pretty interesting to go off of here. We'll see how this goes. In addition to that, some alternative timeline stuff that has happened already. I did a really cool little write-up. I did like a newspaper, which I'm pretty proud of. I'll put that in the YouTube video when I make it at some point. But basically, the alternative timeline stuff that is important to understand. Persia, or really Iran. Persia is the Western name for our country, but really we're Iran. It's the original name in Persian and the languages that came before that, the Aryan group, Iran. We basically have undergone a recent period of just decline and collapse. A lot of that is due to really poor diplomatic choices and allies. We are currently ruled by the Gaucuses, who are a basically clan who took power, I think around 200 years ago. The Safavids obviously having gone out of power several hundred years ago, and the current state of Iran being a successor state to that. Obviously, in the past, we were much larger, much more powerful. The Safavids took back a lot of their territory in this region, but unfortunately, that went away, primarily due to the Russians. The Russians, obviously, at one point having been an equal of ours, but over time becoming an absolute major power that has eclipsed us. Recently, we lost a lot of territory in the Caucasus, modern-day Armenia, Azerbaijan, Dagestan, and the Greater Caucasus, which were all Iranian. We lost them in several major wars to the Russians in the last 30 years. We had secured an alliance with Napoleonic France that made us very protected and strong. That was broken by the French government in order to cooperate with the Russians, which resulted in 2 major wars between Russia and Iran, where we lost all this territory. We were forced to sign a treaty around 15 years ago where we acknowledged that it was all theirs. So we're in a really bad state right now. We've been very strong in the past. We're no longer very strong. The alternative timeline stuff I have made is during this time period, the Grand Vizier, aka the Prime Minister of Iran, was a man named Gazi. He was a Sufi mystic who basically had a ton of control over Mohammad Shah, Mohammad Shah Qajar. He was a very religious man. He was a very old school man, and he wasn't that great. He was the successor of another Grand Vizier before who was imprisoned and executed in real life. In this timeline, we also imprisoned and executed a Gazi. So we've killed our last 2 Grand Viziers. We now have a new one, who is basically a well-known diplomat of Iran, real person, I can't forget his name, Mirza Abdul Hamid, I think, something like that. He was a well-known diplomat with the West. Some people thought that he was in the pockets of the British. Whether or not that's true, questionable, but he's got a very good relationship with Western countries. And as a result, over the last couple days, I did some RP separate from this game where we managed to secure British backing. Speaking of which, let's get we made a trade agreement with the British. We've got their support for invading Kiva. And we've got a formal statement behind closed doors from both the French and the British that in the event of a Russian invasion, we will have their support. Whether that happens or not, we will see. We also managed to basically negotiate more or less a truce with the Ottomans. Obviously, we're Shia, they're Sunni. The major Muslim split is such that we don't like each other in many ways religiously, but we had talks with the Caliph, with the Sultan of the Ottomans, wherein we both said that we have internal matters, we both have shit we have to deal with, we can't be at each other's throats right now, obviously. So there's a bit of Muslim solidarity going on there, which is quite nice. So that's the current state of things. We're in a really not great position, but we had the power to come back if we play the great game correctly. We're not a major player in the great game, but we are a pawn, and we could be a much larger piece if we play our cards very carefully with the Western powers. So, yep, that's the background. It's a really interesting time period. I did a lot of reading and research about Iran in this time period prior to the game beginning. I also did a lot more reading and research on modern day Iran for the game I'm doing for that. It's really, I had a lot of misconceptions about Iran. I'm going to be completely honest. And after reading about them a lot, man, they're just fascinating. So anyway. All right, ran over. That's where we're at. What's up, guys? What's up, Aaron? What's up, Lollipop? What's up, Kirik? Good to see you. Akia Minute, Empire incoming. I don't know. There's a couple things I will try and do with this campaign depending on how it goes. I've got some interesting ideas.
Hello,
Who am I speaking with?
Well, at the moment, the ruler of Afghanistan. Emir.
I can't say this is a pleasure, but you have made the trip to Tehran, so I suppose there is some bravery in that. I have little to say to you. Why have you come here?
I have an interest in reaching the sea, and therefore I wish to annex Kalat and Makran. I have gotten the British permission. I therefore ask you to not intervene.
You wish to take Kalat and Makran?
Yes, to reach the sea to be a part of the international trade.
You wish to secure a port in the south?
I wish to have a port at all, more or less.
I am afraid that we were not consulted by the British and we will be very hostile to this. Last I heard, there was going to be an intervention into Afghanistan. Is the British changed their mind on this?
I asked him and he was willing to allow me to take those 2 states, to incorporate those 2 states and the people living there in exchange for me
As far as we are concerned, you are a rogue state without a central authority, and the actions of your self-proclaimed Shah and Herat are unacceptable. We had been planning action in order to deal with that rogue city. I'm shocked that the British government has gotten behind our backs and attempted to negotiate with what we don't even acknowledge as the proper government currently.
Okay, I was not aware of this. I only wish to improve the living situation of the people in my country. For that, we cannot simply produce everything that population needs.
I understand. I will have to call upon the British Foreign Office in order to discuss this. For right now, though, we would be very hostile to this. If you obviously we can't stop you if you go ahead, but you will be continuing to make yourself a more hostile actor towards Iran if you do this.
Do you have your own interest for Kalat and Makran?
We had definitely had our eyes upon the trading city of Gwadar, that Qatar, Oman currently owns. So yes, to put it frankly. But I think this is a conversation that needs to be had with the British Foreign Office.
Yes.
I'm going to send a message to my ambassador at the consulate in London and see what I can make out of this, and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
The East India Company is not going to
France has
dictate
mobilised,
what
Britain
Great
mobilised the
Britain has to
navy.
do. What do you mean I'm mobilized? I'm mobilized against fucking Luxembourg.
Oh.
With Lux.
Oh, okay.
Everyone is mobilizing at the same time with declaring war.
What? Yeah. What is this? Oh, it's the Netherlands. The Netherlands is a player.
Is Netherlands a player?
No, I don't think so.
He's coming
No,
back next week at a roleplay.
Okay.
Is anyone else frozen? Time frozen?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we waiting for? Wei Jiang. Waiting for.
This is the ambassador from Iran. We would like to know why the British have condoned the non-government in Afghanistan and give them permission to take states bordering Iran.
What? No, we haven't given them permission.
We were just informed by the self-proclaimed Emir of Afghanistan that he's been given permission by the British Foreign Office to invade and annex Makran and Kalat. Is this true?
That is not true. That is not true. I
He's
think
lying.
there was a miscommunication. It was a miscommunication.
France? I think you need to join.
So
Can you back down, please, for now?
Okay.
I will
mean,
treat.
this was quite early. Like, I mean. And yeah, I think there was a miscommunication around.
Wait, are you backing down, Sick? Okay. Never mind. I was getting paranoid for a second.
And in that case, are we still planning the mutual intervention into Afghanistan, or is that also put on hold?
No, we're planning.
Okay. Well,
we will. I will say
this.
we will wait a year. If not, we will take the action that we mentioned to you earlier. So please let us know.
Yeah. We will do so.
Thank you. All right. We were just made aware that that is not the case, and the British Foreign Office does not condone this action.
That's what they told me to. They told the Afghan ambassador that they agree that in exchange for taking those two things, Afghanistan would become the protectorate in the British market.
We were just informed by the British Foreign Office that they never made such a deal with you.
Then I was also misinformed.
That is unfortunate. I will reiterate, though, until such time as we can have proper recompense for the actions of the Shah of Herat, we do formally have no diplomatic relations with your country, as their attempt to foment rebellion in Khorasan is a violation of Iranian sovereignty.
Okay. We understand, and we are somewhat disappointed that we also were tricked by the British, as they had promised us. Well, I excuse you for taking up your time, and wish you a good day.
You as well. Oh, well, either he's lying or the British are lying. It's always tough to tell. What What's up, Jimmy? Yeah, it's a new game. We had a corrupted save on that last one, so we're starting a new one. We may get another corrupted save today because there is an update coming out tomorrow. Paradox has said publicly that the saves will not be broken, but you always gotta take what Paradox says with a grain of salt. Also, we are going to expand our government a little bit. I am going to add in the armed forces to our government, and we're going to go about reforming into a professional army, because that is something I already did an RP post about. We are going to, during this time period, Iran, its military is really made up of the private forces of the Shah, as well as a collection of khans and governors who have their own troops, mainly tribal troops, which are very inefficient. Excuse me. We're going to be attempting to centralize them into a professional modern military. We were given military advisors by the French in a previous meeting with their government who are going to be helping us modernize the Iranian military. So we'll see how that goes. We were also promised investments and bankrolling, which I'm going to DM him about, actually, because it appears they have not given that to us yet. What's up, Punk Kenny? Good to see it. Got a question. What if Russia offers protection to Afghanistan, to Afghanistan? What then? Then there will probably be a major war in the region. The Sikhs are going to war with Kalat. Oh, man.
It's independent. I want a politically independent Luxembourg, but I would just like...
Before we enter onto the side of Kalat, what is the British Foreign Office's opinion on the Sikh invasion of Kalat at this moment?
Oh my god.
Sick.
France has agreed to this invasion. We have laid out our plan.
Is the British Empire going to back us if we enter on the side of Kalat?
Wait, has the diplomatic play already started?
He just started it, yes.
Sick. I would appreciate if you were to slow down just a little bit.
Yeah, this is.
I do not
is
wish to get
okay.
dragged into a war.
This is not okay.
We do not need the war.
So yeah, Baluchistan. What? No. Yeah. So yes, we will support. I think the East India Company support. Iran. To intervene.
This is not us. Kalat is not us. It is a separate state and one with a Muslim primary population, which we would not like to see the Sikh Empire obviously rule over.
Yeah, we also wouldn't want that.
Having a foreign religion like that oversee Muslims is unacceptable.
The Sikh Empire and the state of Punjab is already majority Muslim, and we rule over them peacefully.
Perhaps you see it that way.
Sorry, powers that be, you have to post in the different place.
Okay, don't know.
1 second. Let me discuss with the East India Company.
Oh, how
I'll
you
go.
started?
Please. Is Charles here? Where are they?
Well, it has been.
I also will say I'm very shocked that the French are going to be exacerbating a violent confrontation in Central Asia, in the Middle East. We had, in our last meeting with the French government, thought that they would take a more even-handed approach in the region. I must say we're very disappointed with this.
I must say I have not accepted this conflict to be fired at this time. I'm more than surprised, as I still had plans of having diplomatic talks with the Iranians and British regarding it.
In that case, oh, the British left. Okay, Jesus, man.
What?
In that case, the Iranian Shahdam will be preparing for war. We will speak with you soon. All right, a war over somewhere that we did not expect to fight in. I mean, like, I wanted to work with the French and the British, but this is getting out of hand very quickly. So, all right, we're gonna mobilize. Wow, that was a quick war. Yeah, Persia is Shia during this time period. What's up, Levo? Good to see you. So yeah, this is completely unexpected. The Sikh Empire went straight for Kalat, and obviously I didn't want to move this quickly into the British sphere. I wanted us to be more independent here, but we almost have to pick a side here, and it looks like the French and the Sikhs are going to force our hand. Again, I really wanted to play the Westerners off each other, but like we can't. If we don't take a side here with the British, we're going to forever not have a friend in this region, so we don't really have a choice. Punjab is stronger. Oh, they're stronger than us for sure. They're not stronger than the British Empire and the East India Company combined, though. They stood down. They stood down. Good. Where are the British? We need to... Wow, that was just so quick.
It's having to pay money.
Greetings, this is an ambassador of Iran. We would just like to know what the hell is going on.
I mean, this is unacceptable.
I can say that it seems to be that the Sikh Empire appears to be trying to get naval access through right of conquest. As such, I've already told him that I will not tolerate him trying to warmonger in India. I've said that if he attacks Sinai or Balochistan, I will intervene. It seems that the Sikhs want to try and bully people.
The Afghanis have a similar perspective. I would advise after the backing down of the Sikhs that the British consider action in the Afghanistan very quickly, as they suggested a similar course of action. If Afghanistan is not brought under a Western sphere, they may move to the French or the Russians.
Yes,
I'm doing that right now. Just
we
one
would
question
support
one question out of RP, puppet or protectorate? What would it make more sense? I think puppet, right?
Probably puppet.
Yep.
Okay.
You also have to do a diplomatic play, so in the diplomatic play channel, make sure you just put in there like why it's happening and stuff like that real quick.
That's what I'm writing.
Okay.
Of which UK you will have the East India Company troops on standby to help tame Afghanistan. If the Sikh Empire allies with Afghanistan, I will invade the Sikh Empire if they do that.
I'm much more lower educated than you fine European folks, but where is Iran at?
Well, it's not called Iran.
If you used to use the Western name, we go by Persia for the Westerners, but as a fellow Easterner, I hope you would use our proper name.
Okay.
Yes, as I also use the proper name, it is called Persia. It is.
It's Iran.
If the Persian government and the East India governor can join ongoing diplomatic play, that would be appreciated. Well, once as possible. We are.
As agreed upon in the treaty, Iran is going to mobilize and prepare for war. We do expect you to keep your promise and allow us to execute the mayor of Herat.
Of course. Will be part of the treaty as agreed.
Out of roleplay, does anyone know how to actually get better generals in the roles?
You have to just roll and keep rolling for them. If they win a lot of battles in the field, I think they have a higher chance of getting good traits, but that's really just down to you.
I think it also depends on the clout of the who you're getting it from.
Because like I'm literally getting one trait generals and it's killing me.
It appears that the Sikhs may enter on Afghanistan's side.
That's Kalat.
But if they do, I will deal with the Sikh Empire.
Have they made a formal statement about this?
Not yet.
Is my good friend Mr. George Eden there?
Yes, I am here. I'm just overseeing the company troops being ready to deal with Afghanistan if need be.
Very well. I've come here to inform you that the filthy Dutch have started beginning their campaigns of death and destruction.
Is the game frozen for anyone else?
It is frozen for me.
Yeah, it's frozen.
Someone's lagging, yeah.
Gaku Poo is lagging.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Gilopile.
The Afghans have mobilized their troops, it seems.
They're gonna fight.
I don't see any diplomatic play anymore. Okay.
I
sorry.
see
No,
diplomatic
it's still going.
play.
It's just this player's lagging us out.
Oh, Russia's on the table in the play against Afghanistan. I hope
They are?
don't make.
How do you know?
If Russia joins, the East India Company troops will send troops to Persia to help you against the Azerbaijani front.
If Russia does enter, I would hope that the British would allow us to retake our territory in the Caucasus.
Well,
Anyways,
Yes. So I don't think that the Russians will join.
no, I don't think so as well.
I believe that it is that the move the Dutch have begun, more specifically the Dutch East Indies, as it seems that the continental Netherlands are.
We'll go back to our own VC while we wait here. Oh, the French want to talk to us. Greetings, this is the ambassador on permanent residence here in Paris to speak with the French government.
Yes.
You called for
sorry
us?
For this whole misunderstanding in the Indian region. We wish to resolve this as quickly as possible. We thought that the Sikh Empire had resolved this, or had talked regarding this with the British already. As to why we are so surprised that you were not aware of this.
I would just like to formally confirm that this invasion was not one perpetrated by the French government. Is this correct?
No, but we do wish to establish relations with the Sikh Empire and the Persians, and I had hoped that that wouldn't be an issue.
We mutually would like to have a relationship with both the French and the British, and this was a very worrying conflict which could potentially cause issues. We would like to formally lodge a complaint against the Sikh Empire and would hope that there is a conversation between Paris and their government to ensure such dangerous action without any discussion does not happen again. We received a letter from the Sikhs and had hoped to cooperate with them as well, so this was very disappointing.
Well, they had offered us to become our. They had asked us to aid them or like protect them. Oh, I forgot the name. Sorry. They seeked us to become their protectorate, and we had great economic interest in that region, and we had interest in discussing this with Great Britain and the Persians as well before making any definitive decisions on how the Sikh Empire would expand, so to speak.
Of course.
Or seek to maintain a port to expand their goods. We are more than interested in trading with the Persians and the Sikhs at the same time, as we don't want our relations to be monopolized by a single nation.
Iran also does not wish for a monopoly, which, if we're going to be quite frank, it appears that the British are looking to get out of us, something we would wish to avoid, which is why we would ask again for level-headed diplomacy in the Great Game and in Central Asia and in the Middle East in order to ensure that the nations that could become good trading partners with France are not forced into a specific sphere by chaotic diplomacy.
Yes, of course. For this reason, we are not requesting Persia to join any market, just a mere trade agreement with, of course, the funding.
Our willingness to continue that proposal still stands, just as long as obviously we do get assurances from your government that this sort of thing won't be happening in the future.
Yes, we do also wish to restrain from aggressing against our partners of the Sikh Empire as well, as we don't want our partners in trade to fall into war against each other. That would be very unprofitable for the French king.
Of course. In that case, I think our agreements would still stand then.
Yes, it would still stand then.
We have received your military advisors, by the way, and they are being incorporated in our attempts to reform the military. We would like to formally thank the French government for sending your officer in order to help us modernize the Iranian military, and they have been received well. We also do have, obviously, the permanent residents, as we suggested, on standby ready for the French foreign mission whenever that arrives.
Okay. That's absolutely no problem. if you have any interest in discussing trades with us, or the issue of Oman, for example, then we're more than willing.
Oh, Oman, we do plan on revoking the license. Out of RP, the port of Laristan is actually one on loan to Oman in real life in this time period. There's no way for me to revoke their license on the city, so at some point I will invade them, as there's no way for me to just revoke the city license, which should be in the fucking game. So heads up.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Well, we also are seeking a a port to connect for easier transportation between the goods of the Indian Sea to the French. As of now, we don't own any ports close by.
Perhaps you would consider the island in the south of Mahra, off the coast of the Horn of Africa. It is a famous historical trading city that the French might find to be very beneficial.
That could indeed be interesting for us.
I would fear that if you made any foray into Arabia proper, or in some places such as Makran, given the proximity to the British Empire, you may run into some friction there, which we would hate to see happen.
Well, regarding out of RP, I don't think I can take the island by itself, because I think it's like all.
Can you not do like a trading port or something? It might not let you. That's a shame.
Well, we could negotiate with the British regarding this, because we do not wish to have negative bad relations with them.
Of course.
Luxembourgian propaganda.
Yes.
Can I talk with you quickly after this? It's
our statements do stand. I will let you get back to your important business, Foreign Minister. I thank you for the audience. We're glad to be reassured that the French will be conducting good diplomacy in our sphere. Thank you for your time.
Yes, of course. And we also wish to discuss with Great Britain regarding our ports in the East India Company, and on whether or not we could make a agreement regarding that.
Of course. Obviously, we are not in the British sphere and cannot represent you in that, but if you would like us there, you're welcome to ask.
My apologies, I had something confused. Oh no, you're in my room. Never mind.
Yes.
Thank you for your time, Foreign Minister.
No problem.
All right, good. They're not going to cause any big issues in our region. That is very good to see. It's Iran. Retake Shirvan and Yerevan. If we can, we're going to try and retake the Caucuses, but it'll be rough. The player on Russia, of course, so we'll see how this goes. Yeah, what's the lollipop? What happened? I'm curious what happened. I think we're going to follow Sir Cheese. Obviously, as with the beginning of any game, it's going to be hectic here. Okay, so we are going to be entering into this war. We promised to assist the British in puppeting Afghanistan in exchange for the subjugation and execution of the mayor of Herat, who historically during this time period had basically orchestrated a rebellion alongside the tribesmen in Khiva in Khorasan. So we're getting revenge. It'll also help us work with the British more. When we're done with this, we're planning a foray into Khiva, and we do have the backing of the British on that. So let's hope that goes well. A nation that you can form is Persia. I'm actually not sure. No, it doesn't look like it. I've never tried, so I don't think so. They haven't added a lot of formable nations. I mean, Persia itself is pretty cool. I mean, we got a great flag and stuff, so I didn't really want to form anything to begin with. I actually made homemade mustard gas. Didn't know ammonia and bleach for cleaning made mustard gas. Lollipop, are you committing war crimes in your fucking neighborhood? Oh no, game just froze. Oh, we had a desync. We had 3 desyncs. Modifiers. They must have done something. Nothing to be done about that. Classic lollipop behavior. Oh yes. Oh yes. Creating weapons formerly condoned by the United Nations. Always a great thing to do in your free time while cleaning. Only played Precious so far in Vicky 3. Sometimes the German in me comes true. That's fair, Shadow. Did you get my message, by the way, man? Shadow Hunter, I sent you a DM. Hope you got that. I find Prussia to be pretty boring, to be honest. I mean, like, Germany is interesting, but there's so many more interesting countries during this time period. So. Oh, they stood down. They stood down. Good. Afghanistan just became a puppet of the Afghanis, and we are formally going to be executing the mayor of Herat, as I'm sure he was headed over to us. In that case, we're going to go ahead and start our diplomatic play. Kiva was the other one who did perpetrate a revolution in Khorasan against us, so we are going to be subjugating the tribesmen there. Obviously, the Russians will be pretty upset about this. We may get an ambassador from them very quickly, but we do have the backing of Europe in this, so we'll see how this goes. I hate the military term, stand down. How does it even make any sense? It's like sit up. It is, now that I think about it, it is a very odd phrase, isn't it? That's true. I've never thought about that. Stand down. Hell if I know. Right, so our only general is actually our Shah. He's a military man. Mohammad Shah Qajar, he actually fought the Russians. He was a commander against the Russians. Obviously, he lost quite badly alongside all of Iran, given that our military is just so, in many ways, backwards compared to Russia in the West. So he's actually going to be our general. He will be leading troops himself. He was given, actually I didn't make a diplomatic play, did I? I forgot about that. It is an AI, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but let me do that real quick.
Greetings.
They supported just one moment, I'm writing out my diplomatic play. They supported the rebellion in Khorasan and caused instability during the succession of Iran. Hello, who am I speaking with?
The Tsar of Russia. Red delegate.
Welcome, Ambassador, to Tehran. What can I do for you?
Well, Kiva does concern us very much.
I can imagine. It likewise very much concerns us, given their actions recently in the province of Khorasan.
We were waiting for the British to start the negotiations and mediations between us, but seeing as they were not going to do we're not going to do that, so we need to take things into our own hands.
I suppose so. Well, in that case, we are happy to discuss things with Russia, though. It's unfortunate that we did not get an intermediary. We were also told by the British we would be having a discussion between the two of us, but it appears that given the crisis in Kalat and the other matters that are attending to the British, it will take some time.
Well, seeing as we both have a vested interest in Central Asia, we are willing to split. Are you willing to split the Khanate of Kiva?
The Khanate? Most certainly not. You already, I believe, have large claims and are planning the colonization of the Kazakh region, which we will, of course, not contend. But Kiva itself, given that it is historically Iranian, and given their recent actions at destabilizing Iran during the succession crisis, where I was forced to fight my own kin in order to secure my position, is unacceptable. And it appears that they have actually stood down.
Very well. What about Bukhara and Kokland?
Sorry?
What about Bukhara and Kokland?
Those regions, I believe that the British do not wish to go to anyone. We did not have any current plans in order to conquer or subjugate them. But I believe if Russia was to take action there, you would be going up against the British, who do not wish that to be. I believe in their words, they wish for a buffering zone wherein they can be independent and trade partners of both Russia and Britain and Iran, in their own words.
As we told them multiple times that having buffer states is unacceptable as you and Afghanistan. Well, Afghanistan is no longer a buffer state, so they have retracted that agreement.
Perhaps the Kazakhs would be a good buffer state then. The tribesmen there, they're not an organized government, but I'm sure that Russia will be seeing to that very quickly.
The Kazakhs are a matter of time until they get conquered.
Of course. I hope that we will not see a similar action there like it is ongoing in Circassia.
We certainly hope not as well.
Regarding Bukhara and Klokkendo, I will say that both the several Western backers, including Iran, do not wish to see, obviously, any form of Russian control there, which we will stand firm on as well.
We did discuss this with the British. Nothing, as I said, came out of those discussions. And the point was to have these mediation talks, which they have obviously forgotten about or do not care to do.
I would be happy if we could send an envoy to see if they'd be willing to do it, but I do know the British Empire is very in flux at the moment. If you would like, I can send an envoy to see if they're available.
Please do.
Very well. I will be back in just a moment.
Very well.
is you help us and we become your protector and help you expand into South Africa.
Yes, but you talked about just supporting you so they back down. I cannot send troops there at the moment, and there's other matters I must attend to at this moment.
This is a delegate of Iran. The Russians have entered into talks with us and wish to know if the British are planning on being the intermediary.
Yes.
We should also talk with the Britsh regarding the.
I believe they are planning on sending someone somewhat soon.
Very well.
At a roleplay, just delegates awkwardly sitting here, like glaring at each other.
Sipping tea.
Oh yes.
Greetings.
Hello.
Hello, Ambassador.
Greetings.
So
Would you be against us joining the meeting as well, as this concerns the balance?
Iran would be happy for the French delegation to be here as well.
We would. We appreciate the offer from the French delegation. However, I believe that more people in the room will just make progress very difficult. So we would appreciate if the French could wait for our conversations to be finished before they join the meeting.
If that's what the President of Russia wishes, then we shall go.
This is regarding Central Asia, and we find no use for the French diplomats right now. I'm sorry to announce this.
Sorry, I didn't understand what you said. Did you find them useful or not?
We're not finding them useful as of right
Okay.
now.
I shall take no leave then.
I will invite the governor of the East India Company, just so he can join the meeting as well. He has more information regarding the region than us in London. Would that be okay? The diplomats present?
Well,
You wish us to move to London then?
No. I will request.
Oh, the EIC. Yeah, the delegate of the EIC being here was very pertinent, so Iran would be completely fine.
I thought more people made the talks very difficult, but
As long as they're just not talking over the concerned parties, of course.
1 second. It seems there's a universal invitation on me joining this meeting. 1 second. By the way, I want to announce Queen Victoria has been coronated in the United Kingdom.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, yes.
Thank you. We are very happy with the new monarch.
Hopefully she's more open to friendly relations than the previous monarch.
Well, I don't appreciate how you're talking about my previous king, but I'll let it slide for the sake of friendly relations.
Well, perhaps if you did not bend over for the Russian Tsar, it's not quite what they were expecting.
Sorry?
I said perhaps if your ambassadors were not bending over for the Russian delegates, it's not quite what they were looking for. A joke. Do not worry. No matter.
Sorry. I did not get that joke. I'm sorry. There may be
perhaps cultural differences. Do not worry. Ignore it.
Yeah. That's what I. 1 second. I don't see what the Governor General is doing at this important moment.
Perhaps we can get going. If the leader of the EIC is not here, I think we're all very busy men.
Yes. It's certainly an issue that their room is as a maximum of 5 people, so I cannot go in and talk to them. You know, it's a very small room, so very difficult for me to enter.
Oh, you I can pull them in if you want.
Oh yeah, I mean that would be great.
Yeah, just let me know.
Yeah.
You can jump in there if you want to, real quick. I don't suppose you'd like some opium while you wait. Just for politeness sake.
The weather. Actually, where are we meeting?
Tehran, I'd assume. I mean, you sit an envoy here, so.
Yeah.
Governor George Eden here. I was requested to come here as well.
Yes, your presence was requested considering that this matter is of importance to the East India Company. I would assume that the East India Company wanted to be on this discussion.
Yes, sure. We would want to know of stuff that is happening within our borders or of our zones of interest. Yeah.
Getting on to the point at hand, this was a meeting I believe asked for by the Russians. Am I mistaken?
No. This was asked by the Russians some time ago.
I mean the meeting itself. This was a request of the Russian.
Yes.
Okay, government. Very well.
So,
yes, about the Central Asia. We understand. We understand about the Cuban situation with the Persians. We fully understand that.
We would like you to formally refer to us as Iran.
Iran? Alright. We respect Iran's decision. However, the British stance on Bukhara and Kokand do not sit well with the Russian delegate, as we see no use for these buffer states. Seeing as we wish to have good relations with India and we pose no threat to either Persia or Afghanistan or the East India Company itself, we see no use for buffer states. And we are also part of the defensive doctrine in Europe regarding the balance of power.
Of course. And we understand that the Russian Empire doesn't want bad relations with the British either. We believe that having these Central Asian states as buffer zones between the two great empires is what benefits most each other. There are no tensions, there are no problems. We don't want any nation to become too strong in Central Asia. Not the British, not the Iranians, not the Russians. That is the position of the British Empire. We are here to come to an agreement, and we have come with an open mind. So hopefully, we can come to a conclusion.
Well, we came with an open mind as well, but you puppeted Afghanistan, which I thought was going to be the buffer state, along with Iran.
Was that ever agreed upon?
It wasn't, of course, ever agreed upon, as we never had a formal talk about the Central Asia, as there was supposed to be a formal talk, which is happening right now.
To make demands based on assumptions is a little unreasonable, don't you think?
Perhaps. Regardless, we respect the decision about Kokand. We can't allow that as a buffer state, but Bukhara is going to be a vital province of the Russian Empire, as we see it.
You already have no claim upon the Kazakh region, besides that you take it by force. As far as Iran sees it, you have no leg to stand on in making demands regarding Bukhara. Especially given it is becoming very clear that the Russian Empire's, as you call, Russification policies and genocide is the state of annexation. It would be a danger for the people of Bukhara, many devout Muslims, to go under the rule of the Russians when you have shown in the Caucasus you do nothing to protect their lights, but rather simply slaughter them and force them out of your country.
We do not want that. It's not our claim to ethnically cleanse whole religions.
You are already in the process of ethnic cleansing and forcing out the religious Muslims in the Caucasus already. You have a track record of doing this and have made no attempt to reprimand this.
No, there's no need to get aggressive. There's no need to make accusations.
These are people of my faith in the Caucasus who are currently being subjected to all manner of unreasonable behavior by the Russian government. I am using this to make it very clear that giving away more Muslim regions to the Russians is dangerous and unacceptable.
Of course, I understand that how the Iranian diplomat and the whole Iranian state feels regarding this. However, we will not make any progress if we make accusations like this towards the Russians when they have not recognized these things happening in their empire. Regarding Central Asia, the British Empire is also worried about the French trying to come in and put their influence on the region, which I think is something that none of the three powers gathered together.
What's the mage? Good to see you.
So maybe something that we can all agree on is preventing French influence region.
I think the French influence regards more the Indian subcontinent than Central Asia.
Well, but the Indian subcontinent and Central Asia are linked. The borders are very close, and this honestly is an arbitrary geographical term that we're using. At the end of the day, these regions are very close to each other. If there was any agreement between us, one of our requests or one of the things we would want is for the French question to be answered. The French do not have any influence on the region, and if we were to take any agreement with the Russians or the Iranians, that would be the first thing that we would have to request.
I did just receive a letter from my ambassador in Paris who had talks. I was called before the foreign minister in Paris, who formally apologized to the Iranian delegation and made it clear they wished to enter into talks with the British in order to obviously discuss the situation and get on equal footing with the British and make it clear that this whole situation got out of hand quite badly. I obviously do not wish to protect the French's actions in the region, but at the same time, they have shown an openness to discuss that term. That being said, was this meeting not called in regards to the issues between Iran and Russia?
Yes, but as I'm saying, the fact the Sixth Empire is part of or is trying to join the influence of the French, and understanding that the Sixth Empire is so close to this region, one thing that we would like to get resolved, if we were to accept any agreement going from this meeting, would be for the Sixth Empire to be not under French influence. What I'm saying is basically, we all want different things, so we all have different goals regarding things. Let's try to make at least each of our nations achieve one of those goals.
I understand, but Ambassador, you were called here to ask as an intermediary between Russian and the Iranians, and you are bringing up British foreign policy. I won't deny it's important, but is that not a matter for the French and for a different meeting? Again, we're all very busy, and you called us. You were asked here as an intermediary, a mediator of this issue currently ongoing.
As a mediator, but also, I understand the confusion. Still, we of course have interest on the region. But since the Persians and the Russians were not on talking terms, and were asked to be the mediators. And besides, thank you for bringing this point up. What we wanted to mediate and what we were asked to mediate was not Central Asia. We were asked to mediate the persecution that Russian traders have been suffering on Persian land.
That was in addition to Central Asia.
That was the main point that we said we could help you out with. Again.
Regarding Central Asia, just so we can end this over quickly.
Yes.
We have modified our demands, if you will,
Okay.
out of this meeting, which is the final demands. We will not try to push for anything more, which is the Kazakhs and Bukhara, with guaranteed religious rights in Bukhara. Caucaland remains as a buffer state between the actual East India
Iran
Company
could
and-
not accept Bukhara becoming a annexed state of Russification. You already, I assume you have plans to annex the Kazakh tribesmen, and if you were to do so, you're already creating a very large buffer state. If you choose to incorporate that directly into Russia, that is your choice, but as far as Iran would see it, it would be reasonable to make that the buffer. And again, what you do with that is your choice.
Hey Vlad, I need to talk to you, by the way.
Can it wait?
It's I would have to say if I think this is acceptable to the British to leave Kokan as a buffer state between our nations. And for the Russians just to annex the Kazakhs and the Uzbekistan of Bukhara, sorry.
You are going to accept them annexing Bukhara?
If that means that the Russians will, yes, so we will accept that. We will accept that.
Well, we would like to remind the British ambassador, but when we spoke with your foreign minister in London, you made it clear that you would not be letting this happen. Is the British government planning to change that perspective?
I understand. However, we don't want problems with Russia. We believe that they're trying to be very diplomatic on this matter, and I believe that with the subjugation of Khiva by the Persians, Afghanistan now being under a great rule, a ruler is in aligned with Persia and the kingdom, we believe this is acceptable.
I would say one last time two things. First off, I hope the British understand they are giving not only the Russians access to the opium fields in Bukhara, they also will allow further persecution of Muslim ethnic groups in the region, and in addition, you are breaking an unofficial agreement that you did make with the Iranian delegation. I'd just like you to confirm all that.
I will confirm that we are breaking an agreement with the Iranian delegation. We mentioned the foreign policy of the British regarding Central Asia. We now believe that the Russian, there can be a lot of cooperation coming in the Russians and the British. We don't want to jeopardize that, especially with so many things happening in Europe. Right?
You would be jeopardizing your relationship with the Iranian government, though, just to make that clear.
Well, we don't want that, of course, and that's why we're in a meeting, the three of us together.
I know. I'm just making it clear that you are discussing something at hand that would create that issue.
What would be a solution for that the Iranians?
Iran would propose and be acceptable to Bukhara being an entirely independent state alongside Caucasus, in that no one, the British, the Iranians, nor the Russians would have any dominion over them, and they would act as entirely independent states, separate from all three of us. We have subjugated the tribesmen of Khiva for their actions in the past, and of course, the fact that Iran does have claim over the region, we will keep it as an independent buffer state, but we would not seek the same for Bukhara and Caucasus, and we would suggest it similarly for all involved parties.
As a Russian delegate say to that.
While we very much would like to control Bukhara, and we will guarantee the Islamic faith tolerance in the region, as well as southern parts of Kazakhstan, closer to the Bukhara region itself. For the time being, yes, we will accept the offer.
Just to confirm what has been said.
Bukhara and
Bukhara will-
Caucasus remain independent, with no influence from either side.
Perfect. Works then. I'm happy with that. Everyone else
Or
happy
else
with
it
this?
wasn't necessary for you to join.
I believe there was another matter to discuss as well.
Yes.
The I believe it was the Grand Vizier seizing ships, seizing Russian ships.
Correct. I just like to make the opinion of the Iranian government very clear on this. I'm sure the Iranian government, or sorry, the Russian government is aware of the debt that is currently owed to both the Iranian state and many Iranian private entities who obviously have great debts owed to them by Russian traders within Iran and the region. We did give them an ultimatum from the Shah himself, from myself, and they obviously did not pay back those debts. As such, we have taken their ships as collateral. If they choose, or the Russian state chooses to pay off those debts in lieu of this, we would be happy to give them back to the traders. But if they are unable and unwilling to pay off their debts, we have no choice but to obviously take them as any creditor would.
I believe we've made our statement about this clear in our offer towards the Shah.
Which,
We discussed. Let me scroll up.
What was the offer given to the Shah?
Let me just scroll up. There we go. We offered that the in return for the Russian ships to be returned, we have offered the manning of the Russo-Iranian border. So no more.
At this time, Iran is in the process of modernizing their military, and we do plan to send a force to the border of Armenia and Azerbaijan to secure the border from raiding Cossacks. As such, we are in no need of the protection of the Russian government in that regard.
Very well.
As I said, if you wish to give recompense for your traders, we would hold that as an option. If not, we will be keeping those ships.
How much are the debts owed by Russian traders?
Out of RP, from what I read in history, it was a lot for traders, but for government, it would be very minor. I'm not even sure how I'd want to do that. You could even just make a formal statement saying that you're paying off the debt there. I'd be fine with that.
I mean, it was their mistake to go in debt. And not
It was.
I think so. It was their mistake, so we will not pay it. As expensive as ships are, we will not be paying off your trader's ship. And
very well. In that case, I think that there's nothing more to talk about.
Should be everything. Yes.
All right, gentlemen. Sadly, not all the goals of the meeting were achieved. Or we have come to an agreement regarding situation, and I think good for the British Empire, for the Persian, for the state of Iran, for the Russian Empire as well. So thank you all for your time.
Thank you for your time.
Of course.
We wish to seek an audience with the British representative. Would that be possible?
With Iran?
The British.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we can come. We can go to London and discuss there.
Yes, I would be thankful.
That is all. I will be going back to Bengal.
All right. We are all alone. So anyway, that was basically just a talk between the Russians and us and the British regarding the state of Central Asia. What has been agreed upon is we are going to keep Khiva as a puppet, and Bukhara and Caucasus will be independent as a buffer state. They're going to annex the Cossacks. If you obviously heard it there, they said for now. So in the future, I suspect the Russians will make a play for Bukhara, Caucasus, but at least for now, we've secured a very unsteady border, which is good for us. So that's good to hear. What's up, Goblin? How's it going? What's up, Mage? Good to see you. Hope's all well. I'm looking for a place to move. It's a bit cozier than I expected. My two options are sex dungeon or single room with a big balcony. I'd probably go for the second option if I was you. Just saying. There seems to be some convoluted RP going on. Too many overlapping issues are causing confusion, I think. Perhaps. The beginning of these games is always confusing because like there's a bunch of pre-stuff that's already happened that I just don't have a way of communicating very well. So I do apologize for that. It will get more clear as we go. We have modified the demands. Pray don't modify them further. I can't help but feel like the Russians will try to make a back alley deal afterwards. Oh, they absolutely will. We may get screwed here. We'll see. Is the League of Nations created yet? No, the League of Nations isn't created until after World War I. So that would be like, I think 1919, I think, something like that. They're going to follow AC2, Peck. I don't think that exists in Vicky 3. No. That's a post-World War I organization. Yep. Yeah, if you're the sex jailer, that's not bad. True. True. Yeah, the thing that exists right now is called the Concert of Europe. Basically, all the big powers in Europe come together to decide things and just yell at each other. So international relations is just a clusterfuck during this time period. So getting to what we're kind of currently doing right now, I'm trying to modify the Iranian economy to modernize and obviously build up some industry. We failed to modernize our military. That was a failed attempt that the government did not pass. We're now attempting to pass religious schools in order to institute a level of education, which is very needed because many of the governmental jobs that we need right now, we just don't have the people for. So we'll see if we can get religious schools passed. When we're done with that, we're going to probably take another shot at a modernized professional military. So we'll see if we can pull that off. We do currently have trade deals with both the British and the French, and we're getting subsidized by the French for investments, which is very useful. We do have a bit of a balance of power again going on in the region as well. So things are looking pretty good for us. In terms of industry, I'm trying to build up tool factories, iron mines in order to get the industrial sector kickstarted. And then we're going to probably work on getting a lot of our cities modernized with street lamps. So we're going to build some coal mines and see if we can get gas street lights across greater Iran, which would be very useful. We'll need to obviously build a coal mine for that, which we'll go ahead and get started right now. We're going to build that in, let's see, we'll build in Tabriz. We'll build it there. So when that's done, we'll be able to light all of our cities, which will be quite nice since we are attempting to modernize. Mohammad Shah did try and modernize to a degree. He wasn't the greatest modernizer, but he also wasn't incompetent. Very complicated man in many ways. Where's the Afghanistan invasion? It already happened, Lollipop. They stood down. The British started to play to puppet Afghanistan, and they just stood down. So they just acceded to the demands. There was no war. They just agreed to it. So Khiva did the same thing. We prepared an invasion of Khiva to puppet them. We didn't have to fight them. They just agreed to it. So we do have a semi-stable position here now. The next thing we're going to probably have to do is go after Oman. Again, this is a licensed city. Bandar Abbas is licensed to Oman. It's not actually theirs. The game should have a decision for us to revoke that lease on the city. Obviously, given that this game isn't in Europe, the devs didn't prioritize any of this stuff, so we'll have to do a little war for it. I think we might be doing a rehost. Let me look. Is that what's going on right now? Yep, it's a rehost at a Concert of Europe. Something's going on in London. We're doing a rehost right now. Lovely. What's up, Nico? Are you trying to start a domestic arms industry or planning to import from the UK or non-Russian great power? We're going to try and build it domestically, Goblin, but it's going to be very expensive and it'll take a while. What I'm really trying to do here is get us to stay independent and outside of the control of Europe. I want to play the French and the British off each other for us to stay independent and to get help from both and offset the Russians. It's a very delicate balance. If we fuck it up, we're going to get screwed really hard. If we pull it off, we can modernize and get very strong economically while retaining our independence. In real life, this was attempted by Iran and they failed. They became basically a pseudo puppet of both the Russians and the British. So in real life, this was attempted and failed. For us, we're going to see if we can do it a little bit differently. The game should have a revoked treaty port play. It should, yes. I'm going to say you lost some good land to Afghanistan since the British own it now. True, but I had talks with the British and they were just not going to give it up, so that wasn't an option. You have COVID, Tall. Jesus, man. Hope you're doing all right, not coughing your lung ass out. Jesus. Iran is the local name. Persia is the Western name, so we're going to call it Iran. Also, we're going to listen in on the concert of Europe while we're re-hosting, and I also need to go take a piss, so I'm going to go do that. Did we miss the concert of Europe?
No,
No, it's happening right now, I think.
Okay. Yeah, going after Ottomans would be possible, especially considering the Shia-Sunni split. We received a letter from the Sultan before the start of the game. I'll read it to you guys actually really quickly. So we have more or less a truce with the Ottomans right now. We have fought wars in the past, but it's been a while. We're technically hostile, but it's a gray area. Let's see, where did I got a letter from him? What was it? Suleiman Ayyukum, the Sultan, wishes to put aside the schism between our nations and uphold Muslim brotherhood through a truce. The Sultan has great internal matters to attend to. We are aware the Shah does as well, and it would not be beneficial for either of our nations to act against one another. We are told that the Russians may be a threat to Persia, and we wish to not add to the threat you face by engaging in fruitless rivalry. Muslims should be united in their faith and should realize that true threats lie outside the bounds of Islam. Inshallah, our nations will engage in a truce and put aside religious doctrine for the time being, while European powers grow more menacing towards the Muslim world. So that was the message we got from the Ottomans, which I sent a message back basically agreeing to that.
France should not join this play or defend Luxembourg in any way. You are infringing in our sphere of influence, and Germany and Prussia does not appreciate such actions in Europe, and especially not in our sphere of influence. Thank you.
Yes, France is invited to speak.
One sec.
I will ask you one thing first.
My apologies.
What is the French position on attacking an independent nation, i.e. the Netherlands, and how does other great powers stand on this? Having attacked the Netherlands for
it was less of an attack on the Netherlands, but or more so the support of the Luxembourgian independence, as we have supported the independence of the Belgians before. We saw no such problems of supporting the independence of the Luxembourgians as well. We have not subjugated them or are planning on using them for our own goals. And regarding the comment where Germany considered them their spheres of influence, we wholeheartedly disagree with that statement, as they are more Walloon than German. And
so there's a play currently ongoing between the French and the Germans, or the Prussians right now, over the lowlands, like Belgium and the Netherlands, I guess is what's happening.
We maintain the position that Luxembourg
Fucking
should
Europe,
do
man.
whatever they wish to do. If they decide to join the Prussian market on their own accord, we will not object to that. We just wish that the sovereignty and independence of the Luxembourgian state would be respected.
Start the game.
Does any other major power wish to speak on this matter?
We will say that we would rather see. Well, we do not have the best relations with Prussia. We would rather see Prussia rule Germans rather than France. France has gone way too powerful, as they've already expanded their sphere of influence into Italy as well. And if we continue to let France expand their influence, not just in Italy but now
Okay,
in the
I will say that there's something weird with the host right now, because I have to accept people instead of them automatically coming, and it like doesn't allow people in somehow.
It's another rehost then.
Really weird.
Anyways, we would rather see Prussia rule Germans rather than France, and especially because France will grow way too powerful if they just continue to gain influence over Europe, and therefore we will not be supporting France, and we will Germany will have or Prussia will have our diplomatic support for this.
I think the game might be bugged right now.
We
We'll
were
see.
willing to comment on that, but we wish to hear the opinion of the other nations first.
People seem to be accepting it. I will say one thing out of RP. If people like have a timeout, you'll just have to try to join again.
There's like 50 people trying to hot join at once.
Great Britain wants to speak, along with Prussia and Luxembourg. But I think we do GB first.
I felt a mild sore throat last sneezing. I was tired more than usual. That's it. The only reason we got checked was due to the abrupt sense of increase in sneezing. That's fair.
Invited to speak.
I've gotten sick twice this month. I think the second one might have been COVID again. I don't know how many times I've had it now. It might not have been. Who
The position of
knows?
Great Britain is similar to Austria's. How
How big are the pieces, Jimmy? That's the real question.
This was a sign of aggression by the Prussians. However, after learning that the French accepted the Luxembourgians into their market, we believe that is an attempt at destabilizing Europe and destroying the balance of power that has been so carefully set by the Congress of Vienna. We remind the French that because by them joining your market, they are joining your sphere of influence, therefore making
Okay, the piss real bad, but I don't want to get stuck in the menu in desync.
We support the Austrians, we support the Prussians on this, and we would ask that Luxembourg leave the French market. But also that it is not subjugated by the Prussians. We want an independent.
Austria seconds that. We would rather see, though, if it comes to either the France or Prussia ruling it, we would rather see Prussia rule it, but we would.
Probably the silver, Jimmy. I think that's worth more. I could be wrong. Damn, dancing my seat right now.
And I think Russia wanted to speak on the matter.
Russia wants to speak as well.
I'm inviting more people. Sorry, not.
I wish to speak afterwards as well.
I'm trying to accept people in other
Here,
stuff.
I'll just go with it. Russia, would you like to say anything?
Yes, we do support as well. Independent Luxembourg, due to them being cut out of the Dutch market when they were under a personal union, which led to the starvation of the Luxembourgian people.
The kingdom of...
Sorry?
Yes, our stance is that we support a neutral and independent Luxembourg. That's all.
Jason, you want to say something?
Yes, the position of the Kingdom of Spain is that France, by attacking the Kingdom of the Netherlands in support of revolution in Luxembourg, it has upset the balance of power somewhat. Nations, the Kingdom of the Netherlands as well as Belgium is supported.
Silver is worth a lot right now.
Powers in Europe.
Fuck it. It's gonna load right when I leave, but I gotta go to the bathroom.
And Prussia, both of which supporting the existence of both the Netherlands and Belgium would not act before this.
Real quick, if you're joining into the game and you select your nation, please don't do anything once you get into your nation. That's how everybody has to
Don't build anything, don't research anything, don't start a law. Like, just don't do anything.
Like, don't even click around in the menus too much. It'll just mess everything up. Do the Great Powers wish to let Luxembourg speak on the matter themselves?
I would like to, if that is okay.
Okay, yeah, sure, go for it. Nobody objects.
The stance of the kingdom, or the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg, is that we would like to be politically free and sovereign, which we believe we are in this situation. However, it is the goal of Luxembourg to build a multinational society where French, North Germans, Wallonians, Flemish, and Dutch people can all come together and have good jobs and high-paying jobs and work. And that is the goal of joining the French market. It is not the idea that Luxembourg is now under French rule. It is just that Luxembourg would like to expand its economy, and we believe this still maintains a politically free and sovereign Luxembourg. And we believe that the aggression by Prussia is unnecessary, as there's no political links to the Luxembourg and French, just pure economic. Thank you.
You must understand that you might see this as just whatever you believe, but France does gain quite a political and geographical position of power with you being in her market, and therefore, which is why a lot of great powers cannot permit this.
The position of the Kingdom of Spain is that the Grand Duchy does not exist in of itself. It exists in the sovereign, that being the Grand Duke, the King of the Netherlands. This attack...
We disagree, as Luxembourg had no access to the Dutch market, and there was no way for Luxembourg to become a politically free, independent, sovereign, and multinational nation where it could be a meeting ground of North German, Dutch, Flemish, Wallonian, and French people. And there's no way to do that within the Dutch market or under the Dutch protectorate.
Russia wants to reject this outlandish idea of multiculturalism. This is something.
Silver's worth a lot these days. It's really gone up.
I'm speaking LP.
I bought a bunch of it a while back, and I sold it a couple for a good premium, but it just kept going up. I regret it.
Support the Luxembourg independence, as they themselves were struggling inside the Dutch market, and this was merely out of to give them freedom to choose in what market they are willing to join. We have no objection to them joining the German market or joining the Belgian market. Whatever they wish to join, we have no problem with it. But we do believe that Luxembourgians should have their own autonomy to decide whose market and with whom they will be trading. We have no political interest of using them, and we see them as not significant enough in balancing any balance of Europe. They are not militarily capable. They have an extremely small population, not even comparable to our great cities. And we see this as a way for Prussia to show their own power.
Platinum and rare earth metals will just only go up in value. Anything used for like chip production will just continue to go up in value, really. Most likely. Unless we actually get asteroid mining or new huge deposits are found, which is possible.
Ballooned, and we don't believe that Germany should be just granted influence over nations just because they labeled the term German on them, even if they are not German. Regarding our position of expanding influence in Europe, we have no interest in influence in military influence in Europe.
Gold was like 20 bucks, now it's 9 times that. It's a lot, yeah.
Supported them in any conflict.
The rare metals like that who are historically valuable that are used in like actual like high tech manufactured goods, it's gonna continue that way.
Trying to influence the European theater through conflict or aggression. We are merely willing to trade with Luxembourgians, and that's our only position in this matter.
You hear about that meteor site? They found like a material, like a mineral that they never found before, or something like that. I saw an article about that.
Luxembourg in your market, you directly infringing in our sphere of influence.
Is this all over Luxembourg?
We also reject your claim that Luxembourg is not German. The census of 1838 shows that 41% North Germans live in Luxembourg right now, and even 0.04% of South Germans, they're immigrating there. We believe that by joining the French market, where does it stop? Does France next step is to follow next Luxembourg or bind them politically and economically to them, or where's the position by France? Where does it stop? Also, the invasion, the unlawful invasion of Netherlands is by itself a violation of the balance in power.
That could be the one, Jay. I'm not too sure.
And should be seen as a violation of the Vienna Convention as well. We did not forget the horrors of Napoleon, and it seems a new Napoleon is already rising from the ashes.
We don't see how influencing in an uprising would be considered as aggressing against the Netherlands, especially if that uprising is destabilizing the whole region. We did the same with Belgium, and I don't think everyone considers us as imperials for supporting the independence of Belgium, as that region had been very unstable. And so we are of the same opinion that Luxembourg has been very unstable and honestly speaking, exploited by the Dutch crown. We simply believe they should remain the freedom of doing whatever they wish for, and if they wish to leave the French market, they may do so. We have.
Sorry for cutting in here, but is anyone trying to join that isn't here? Otherwise, we're.
I would just like to say I thought we were going to go back to August, so that I'm not, because I'm a puppet of the German market like now, and like it's ruined my economy within the last month, so like I'm already coming into this at a disadvantage.
I thought I did a save for. Oh god.
September 6th.
Go back to August.
Oh yeah.
We can't do another. We can't do another rehouse though. That's just not an option.
We can't do it. Yeah.
Maybe how
well,
we
that just
handle
puts me at a
is-
ridiculous disadvantage because I just lost like half of my I'm half in debt now just because of losing.
I mean, is there a reason why
out of the
France
market.
didn't get involved in the diplomatic play beforehand?
Yeah, for real.
I'm also curious as why he launched a diplomatic play and didn't even like I was lagged out of the game, so he just waited till I lagged out of the game to start the play.
No, I reject this.
I probably not.
This-
No, that's not true. That's not true.
What are you doing, man? Like,
Come on, that's
Okay,
just a May.
Are anyone trying to? Okay. We have one person loading in is at 50, 51, 52, 60.
do not exploit people like this. I'm just saying.
Okay, can you at least release me so that because I was the AI had back down, not me.
Yes, but then it puts me in a disadvantage because I have a 5-year truce with you after this. I can't even do anything if you join the French market for 5 years.
Here, France. Would you
Okay,
like
so
to get involved in the
Tiger,
diplomatic play
choose
or
your
not?
nation, then we'll start, and people can either listen to this or go to their own channels.
Oh,
I'm
I
not
see.
gonna
I
get
got you,
fucked
Jay.
if
That's interesting.
I'm just gonna get fucked like that, so.
Oh well, I'm passing.
So
France, why did you not get involved in the diplomatic play?
Because I wish to discuss this first with the British and the diplomatic play.
We're leaving. I don't know what's going on here. It's just a clusterfuck in Europe, and it really doesn't concern us that much. So something's happening with Luxembourg. The Luxembourg player did something. I'm not really sure what's going on. It almost created a huge conflict in Europe. This is why you don't just like wait for people. Okay, cool. We are going again. Good. So like I said, we are working on our market. We really are missing a lot. If we retain our own independent market, we'll spend most of the game lacking a lot of what we need. Why are we letting more people join? He unpaused. Oh man. But I've thought about trying to get us to join someone's market, British or the French later down the line. But in the beginning, we gotta retain our independence and stay that way. Because if we don't, we're just going to get incorporated into a sphere, and we want to try and make it clear that we're independent. The other option is we could potentially join like a Muslim solidarity alliance with the Egyptians and the Ottomans. However, the religious split obviously makes that very difficult, if not entirely impossible. So,
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, brother. What can I do for you?
It's really convenient that the Europeans are sort of tearing themselves apart over this Luxembourg drama.
I had to look up a map. I had to get my Grand Vizier to show me this map for this little insignificant country. It's laughable, but their division is our gain.
Yeah, I agree. It is good for us that means they're not going to be stuff.
Agreed. What brings you to Tehran?
Just to say that, and also the Russians picture themselves as a defender of the Orthodox faith, and I think we can find unison against Russia if violence were to erupt in defending the Muslim Brotherhood against the Persians to release so-called Orthodox peoples from our control.
I mean, I'm sure you're already aware of their actions in the lands we lost them in the 2 previous wars. The ethnic genocide of Caucasians and the forcing out of our Muslim brothers and sisters in the Caucasus.
Yeah, it's terrible, terrible, terrible. And don't forget Crimea, too.
Of course. I wish I could do something to stop this, but we were laid low by Europe's ambitions, and there's nothing at this point I can do to return those lands to a Muslim ruler, I'm afraid.
I agree. That's why I'm thinking we should do some long-term thinking.
We'll say I'm not ready to immediately just jump onto cooperation with the Ottoman Empire. I have great respect that you're willing to set aside our historical differences for the greater good of our faith, but let us make no mistake that there is much to do before any further in-depth cooperation could happen between us.
Agreed. I'm merely stating, so long as there other powers or other goals that our empires have in unison, delay any conflict.
Of course. I think we can absolutely agree on the Russians being a mutual danger to the both of us. You have lost much land to them, as have we. That is something that we can both find common ground on. Also, to make you aware of it, there was a negotiation with the Russians alongside the British where the Khiva-Bukhara-Kokand line was declared as a buffer zone, but the phrasing of the Russians made it quite clear that they wish to contend this in the future.
Oh, so the Caucasus area, basically.
No, the Central Asian region, Bukhara and Kokand. Khiva we have subjugated after their actions in Khorasan, but the other two remain independent.
Hello.
Oh, that's not good.
It is not. It's a danger. The Russians have made clear their intent to get a port, one that is not in the Black Sea, and I'm afraid that if they're given unlimited amount, they'll either go through you or they'll go through us.
That's very worrying. Okay, well, the army is going to be modernized. Be ready.
It's easier said than done. We are seeking to do the same. I tried to get reforms passed and the Khans almost rebelled, so I'll have to wait a bit longer.
Those pesky landowners are really
I secured much of their land in the Civil War with my kinsmen, but they still retain a lot of power. I'm sure you understand a similar issue.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Of course. Very well. What are our leaders' traits? Mohammad Shah Gajar, or Mohammad Shah, he is imperious. Characters known to the arrogant and domineering nature. That's fine. We can do that. That's fun. He's an explorer. He enjoys finding new places, successfully completed an expedition, and he's an open terrain commander, which I guess we got when he was on the front with Kiev or something, because he hasn't fought a war since the War of Russia. He's actually our commander. He's our only commander right now. He's part of the landowners. He's a traditionalist, which is not surprising. Persian, of course. He's not very popular. Being imperious. He's 30 years old. He's quite young. So yeah. Lots of spared authority, by the way. Spared authority, really. From Imperious? Decree cost reduction. Oh, wow, that's cool. Radicals from standard of living decrease reduction. Loyalty from standard of living increasing. And he does more. He has more moral damage protection, but he doesn't recover as well. So yeah, that's good. He's traditionalist, so cooperation with the Sunnis would not come easy to him. No, it won't. Like I'm happy to like basically not fight each other because we can't beat the Ottomans and we have a shared enemy in Russia. But he's not gonna sign some fucking friendship treaty with something like that, right? So we'll do what is necessary to keep the peace, but like a Muslim solidarity movement is unfortunately not just possible with someone like him, which is expected. In real life, he actually converted to Sufism. His Grand Vizier Akasi inducted him into Sufi mysticism, and this timeline that didn't happen, but historically the actual man did, so he's an interesting guy. All right, unused production. Finish these tool workshops. We'll get the coal mine up and running so we can light the cities of Iran. And then I think we probably need to work on securing. I think more iron is the name of the game right now. We need a lot more of that. Fishing trawlers would be nice too, but we need clippers for that. And it's a little early to build ship works like that. Going for filing cabinets would be nice, but we need a lot of paper that we don't have as well. 90 paper, how hard would that be to do? We need 2 paper mills and then we need a sulfur mine, which we could do, but probably not best for us to rush to that quite yet, since we do have a surplus of bureaucracy. If we can get the school for reform passed, we will need more though, so we gotta watch out for that. Russia and Iran eating ice cream in the Treaty of Friendships. I don't know about that. We hate the Russians. We hate the Russians. Like, they're our greatest enemy. We would rival them, but I don't think we actually can. No, because they're too powerful. Yeah. They're too powerful for us to even rival, unfortunately. I will make a play for Oman here in a little bit as well. I want to talk to the British before we go about doing that though, because that might piss them off. I had tried to negotiate with the British the possibility of a full-on war with Oman, wherein we would give the British the treaty port in the Crucial Coast, and we would puppet Oman, but they didn't seem very interested in that, unsurprisingly, so... yeah. We'll see how that goes. And our troops are so old school. We really need to modernize. It's up to 19% chance of it happening, so that's nice. The landowners really don't want it. That's because they have all the troops right now. At this point, all of our armies come from the landowners. They don't come from us, which is a huge problem. Oman is not a player, no. No, they are not a player. Afghanistan is, or was. I don't know if they're still here. He got puppeted. He might have dipped. A couple players dipped. See if he's still here. No, he's still here. Yeah. So kill the landowners? Given that we are one and we cooperate with them, they're our group, I doubt we'll be doing that. I don't think so. We're not in a mood to kill ourselves. We also have some good what's they called group traits here. Let's go through those. We've got veteran consultation that reduces military tech costs. We've got middle managers that gives us more bureaucracy. We've got family ties that gives us influence. We've got divine right that gives us authority, and we've got be fruitful and multiply, which gives us birth rate. We're actually well ranked by all of our groups right now, besides the rural folk. Regular people don't like us, but besides them, everyone likes us, which is what matters. So we also do have an heir. He's already an imperious demagogue at the age of 7. You can see it in his eyes. Look at that. You can see the demagogue deep inside of him. Oh no. Oh god, I don't want to roleplay a demagogue. Jesus Christ. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. We got that to look forward to. That'll be fun. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. We're still running a little bit of a deficit. We've got a huge surplus of gold reserves, so we're doing solid right now. We could actually probably build another construction sector. We might have to delete it later, but for now, since we are getting subsidized by the French government, since they're trying to earn favor with us, we might as well at least get rid of some of this treasury in order to build a little quicker here. An imperious demagogue traditionalist. Yeah, is he also traditionalist? I didn't see that part. Yeah. He's Azerbaijani. I guess his mother was Azerbaijani. Landowner traditionalist demagogue who's imperious. We'd be very proud of our son, I can tell you that. He's definitely much like we are, our current character. Mohammad Shah's not a demagogue though, that's the difference. Alright, with that more construction power, we'll get that coal mine hopefully done a little bit quicker. We'll get those 2 iron mines. And then at that point, we're probably going to want to look into... we might want to start looking towards exports at that point, to be honest. We do have a trade treaty with both the British and the French, so that would be worth looking into. We do need a lot more clothes factories and food, though. We actually need a lot more food, so... we have a lot more of these just regular things we need to work on here. Excuse me. I wanted to try and wait until we got a modernized professional military before starting this conflict with Oman, but we may have to go before that, given how long this is likely going to take. It's taken a while for us to even get religious schools. Since authority costs are lower, we can actually do an ever decree or two.
Greetings.
Hello, is this the French ambassador in Tehran?
Yes, yes.
Welcome to my court. What can I do for you?
Yes. We wish to discuss our establishment of our embassy in your capital, on how many personnel it will be able to contain.
As I suggested to you in our previous meeting, we have set aside one of the smaller estate of the Shahs taken from my own cousin during the civil conflict. It could most likely retain, I'd say, at least around, if you really want to push it, 100 people, including servants. But you'd be more comfortable at around 50 or 60, I would say.
Yes, I would say that as well. Well, we of course seek to expand the embassy further if need be, as we have great plans for our future, as we see a lot of potential in trade deals with the Persians.
Iranians. I mean no offense, Ambassador, but I would like for that term to be used. Oh, god damn it. Oof.
My apologies.
Of course.
Also, another issue we should discuss is the situation of the Sikh Empire.
Yes, regarding their recent actions, I assume you're still cooperating heavily with their government?
Well, yes, I was cooperating, but we also understand the need for stability in the region, and we were thinking about maybe forming an agreement with the British that they will become in direct control under a dominion state of France instead of a free nation but under our market. In return, we will be offering them to return the port of Pondicherry, which is still stationed in the East India Company, as we believe that this could potentially be more beneficial to the East India Company than having control over those regions, as they are very much Muslim religious and could cause some unrest or conflicts with the how do you call it, Hindu population of India.
I understand.
If you understand the concerns.
Yes.
This is of course in no mean a attempt for us to expand our empire here or expand our territories or seek military conflict. We just wish to secure our trade deals with the people that we had.
We see no issue with this and find this to be most reasonable.
I'm very glad to hear this. Will be awaiting for Great Britain's reaction to this proposal. I have not received a reply yet, but I will make sure to let the Iranian know as soon as possible.
We thank you, Ambassador, for letting us know here in Iran. Is there any matters that directly concern Iran that we should be made aware of?
Not at this moment. We just wish to inform our partners, trade partners, of this development.
While I have you here, I would like to discuss the possibility of explicit good exports to French markets. We do have the possibility of opening up production of either opium, silk, sugar, tea, or dye at present within Iran for exports, and wish to see if you would like to formalize a trade route where we could export this to you, or if that's not something the French government is interested in at this time.
We would be highly interested in this, but at this time we are still being accustomed to how to say Persian military tactics of using opium as in first aid kits. If we develop a proper product for that use, then we will be more than willing to import a large amount of opium into the French market.
Very well. If you change your mind on the matter, do let us know, though, as we will be giving a similar offer to other Western powers.
No, I would more than gladly accept your proposal. It was just an issue that we don't have the demand right now for opium.
How about dyes? I assume that the textile industries of France are rather large, and you may be in need of such things.
That's also true. At this time, we are importing dyes from other markets as well. but we are willing to divert our imports.
If the exports would not be bought at a reasonable price, I think it would be best to perhaps we both look elsewhere for that. If you already have copious amounts of supplies, Iran would not wish to obviously sell our goods at a low market cost.
Yes, of course. I must say we are quite in surplus of a lot of goods at this time.
The French Empire is great and wealthy. We know this well.
Well, those I meant specifically tropical goods, as the goods that do require imports are mostly iron, furniture, and alcohol, surprisingly. But I do not think that the Muslims of Iran are...
Ironically, we do have a minor amount of alcohol, liquor that we could export to you. It would be very minor for your economy, though. It's dramatically cheap here in Iran, as you say. We don't utilize it very much, but I could open a very small trade route to you regarding that.
If you're interested in doing so,
actually, I have no way to reach your market, unfortunately.
Well, then I should discuss this with the Britsh on whether I will be able to maintain a station port for our future trades.
Of course.
I shall take my departure then.
Very well, thank you for your time, Ambassador. And if you need any help with the setting up of your embassy, do not hesitate to let my government know.
That will be no problem, I think, for now. But still, thanks for your concerns.
France, would you be interested in a export route of wood to the Luxembourg market?
Yes. Would you meet me in my capital, please?
I'm not feeling worried. My tooth has been slated for a root canal at some point next year due to all my front teeth having constant work of filings and crowding them down east to the work and remove the nerves which are causing problems. It seems like the tooth is starting to ache, which is really a sign of nerve dying. Yep, it is. Oh man, Jesus, dude. Tooth problems are horrifying, man. You could call your dentist and see if you can get the timeline moved up on it. I had a bad tooth for like 4 or 5 months during college. That oh, sorry, there's someone here to speak with me. Are you an ambassador here to speak with Iran?
No. Sorry.
Okay.
I was really, you're on the phone.
Just no. I'm streaming. Yeah.
Oh, you are. Oh, right.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure you weren't here to speak with me.
Yeah. We're all good. I'm more like fun, being a little French tag along.
Ah, I got you. Okay. But in college, I had a tooth that went bad for months, and like, oh man, I could barely get my schoolwork done, and I was just bedridden the rest of the time. Like, when you have bad tooth pain, you can't live your life like at all. It was real bad. And my dad was nice enough to give me some money to get it pulled. I thought about pulling it myself, but it was like my furthest back tooth, and I knew I could really fuck myself up. So. I think the French ambassador is secretly a scav, and he keeps saying yes. It's possible. The problem is that we are waiting to trying to allow my insurance to refill. Yep, I know the feeling. You gotta wait till January 1st for that to happen. I know exactly what you're talking about. All right, the economy is growing quite nicely. Not as quick as I would like, but we are improving. We need a lot more iron, much like the French, which we're hopefully be able to do with this. We are currently in the process of researching atmospheric engines that will give us access to new technologies we can utilize here in Iran in order to produce both more iron and more coal. Once we're done with these iron mines, we are going to probably need to build another coal mine in order to utilize atmospheric pumps properly. So let's get that in the pipeline actually right now. Sooner rather than later is better. Tooth pain is nothing compared to when my innate down part of the jaw went dumped and I couldn't open my mouth. Oh, Jesus, dude. Yeah, jaw pain is also horrifying. A lot of your jaw and teeth are actually related to the rest of your body, including your heart. That's something I didn't know until recently, is your teeth are actually very linked to your heart. So if you have toothaches and stuff, it can cause heart problems, cause headaches, all kinds of stuff. So good dental health is so important. Anyway, back to Iran. In pretty good shape. Let's take a look at our demographics. I haven't looked at this very closely. Mostly peasants. We have some laborers. We do still have slavery. We do still have that. I don't think we'll be able to get rid of it. The landowners will literally rebel if we try. So we have a lot of aristocrats. We have a lot of clergy, shopkeepers. in terms of political power. So the aristocrats just dominate the country, and the clergy do, of course, as well. Culturally, mostly Persian. We've got Azerbaijani, we've got Kurdish, we've got Baluchi too, I think. Yeah, Baluchi. In terms of this time period in modern Persia, the Kurds obviously over here, primarily Persians in the north. We've got a lot of Arabic culture in the south along the southern coastline. We've got Baluchi over here. Do we have anything else? Armenian up here in the north. We've got Turkmen, which would be over here. Mashriki, Sephardism, Bedouin, Assyrian, which is also over here. I guess they don't make Arabic a specific group. Maybe it isn't at this time, but the southern, I guess there's probably a bunch of other different groups, but it's all Arabic down there technically, at least in modern context. Persians are very strong. Azerbaijanis have a lot of influence too. Mostly Shiites, a bit of Sunnis, and a bit of Orthodox Christians. Those guys are coming from Circassia because there's a genocide there right now and they're fleeing to our lands. Yep, interesting. Culturally, almost all Persian, bit of Azerbaijani, bit of Kurdish. Mashriki and Bedouin would be, I guess, the modern day Arabic, I would think then. Interesting. And I'm getting both eventually on this tooth. Yeah, man, I have had such bad, I think I've said this before, I've had such bad experiences with dental stuff. When I was a kid, this isn't a joke, this actually happened. When I was younger, I lived in this little small town, and we used to go to this really cheap dentist, and it was like this guy, I could never understand him. He was, I believe, Chinese, and he didn't speak English very good, so I could never understand what he was saying. But he had this belief, and I'm not joking here, this is a real thing. He had a belief that children didn't feel pain in their teeth, which was not true. So he believed that children didn't feel pain in their teeth. Meaning, whenever he did dental procedures on me and my sister when we were kids, we didn't get any anesthetic because, again, apparently kids didn't feel pain in their teeth during operations. So I just freak the fuck out whenever I go to the dentist. Last time I went to the dentist to get that tooth pulled, actually, which was a year or two ago. I need to go to the dentist, but I just can't afford it. I remember, like, I was just sitting in a chair and I was just like covered in sweat because I always do when I go to the dentist because I freak out because, I don't know, experiences. And the dentist literally like made me feel bad. He's like, oh, you shouldn't feel bad at the dentist. I don't know why you're like this. It's completely fine. We're all great. You shouldn't be like this. So I'm like, dude, I'm not the one making myself sweat like a fucking horse right now. So it was lovely. Lovely. Anyway, dentists are horrible. Fuck dentists, man. I hate tooth shit, dude. Then I had an operation in India. I was traveling around in India, and one of my crowns fell out, and then I had to get a crown replacement in Delhi, and that was an experience. Holy shit. So I know you're pain with tooth shit, Commander. It's horrifying. It's not fun at all. Tooth pain will be off and on at the moment of the time table. It won't be too severe. You can get local anesthetic from CVS, by the way, Commander. If your tooth really starts to be in pain, you can go, you can get over-the-counter tooth anesthesia, which you can just like rub on your tooth and it will make the pain go away. Just heads up. Make use of that if you can. So, just heads up. Localized anesthetic. You can get over-the-counter. It's not very good, but it will help. I used to have the worst dentist, man. He was like old school and complete trash. Now I have a new dentist and it's like 10 million times better. Yeah, good ones are not bad. I've been to a good dentist before. Anyway. Topical numbing gel. I don't like it either, but when your tooth hurts enough, it makes things better. So, yeah. Anyway, back on topic. We don't need to talk about dentist stuff. I don't want to, at least, so. All right, we currently have our people, the rule folk and the trade unions, which we actually have. There's 3,500 people currently in an Iranian trade union right now, which is interesting. Alongside the rule folk, of which there's a lot, of course. They are currently demanding migration controls. They want us to not allow migrants into our country, which we're not going to do. Religious schools are at 51% chance of success, so hopefully this cycle we will actually get religious schools passed, given that we will actually be able to educate the people of Iran. That would be amazing. So let's hope that we get that here. I'm a good dentist, but my lord gets overuses the anesthetic. That's fair. Better than not enough, I can tell you that. All right, here we go. We're about to get atmospheric engine. And then we'll be able to extract. Yes, wonderful. The atmospheric engine is the first steam engine that has an actual practical application. Funny story, you know, I was watching a lecture series this week, and it was talking about some like misconceptions about the historical world. I won't rant about it. But one of the interesting things that he mentioned that I never knew was, the Library of Alexandria is a research institute, not a library, which I never knew. A really interesting lecture series by, what's his name? He's really good. Roy Casagrande. He's a really interesting lecturer out of Austin. But he mentioned that someone had invented a really early steam engine at the Library of Alexandria, and I looked it up and it was true. It didn't have any practical applications because it was so early, but during the time of the Library of Alexandria, someone actually invented a steam engine, which blew my fucking mind. All right, anyway, let's work on the lathe. It's really important. While we're doing that, we are going to go ahead and utilize the atmospheric engine pumps in order to extract more coal, and then we're going to use them on our iron mines as well, which will dramatically, hopefully, increase production. Yep. Hopefully we get a little bit more. Yeah, we have one more iron mine we're about to finish, then we'll get the other coal mine, and then we should be pretty good industrially right now, which is what we want. I also am going to build another construction sector because we can afford it. Ish. We'll do the coal mine. When we're done with that, we should be just about balanced with industry, which is lovely. And we're going to go ahead and then utilize... See, we're working on the lathe, and we're going to get that in 10 to 14 months. So I think we'll wait on that for a lot of our production when it comes to things like clothing. Furniture we can deal with now, though. So, and food we need to do the same. So let's go ahead and build some more furniture manufactories. We'll build 2 of those, and then we will also build a glasswork. And then because we're building that, we will also need to build a, where is it? A dye plantation, which we want. We want a lot of dye plantations. If we can build enough of these, this can actually become one of our main export goods is dyes. They become very valuable in Europe over time as the demand for them really just increases, so. It's been revealed that Hamza Farani of the Shia ulama has been having a secret affair with a member of the clergy. His resignation is being demanded. Obviously, we're very religious, so we're going to ask him to step down. We would also find that to be horrifying. Good stuff. See if there's anything going on in the world right now. Oh, they're invading Circassia. I guess that the genocide has gone far enough and they're going to formally be annexing Circassia. I won't go into that. It's really depressing. The Romans discovered steam power as well in the 1st century, but only used it for novelties and decorations. Yeah, Sir Cheese, I read about that, which is interesting. There's that time-old fucking debate you hear in every, like, especially Western history class, but just history in general, about, like, could the Romans industrialize? And it was possible, just the cultural issues were the big factor. So, yeah. You know, a lot of technologies that we assume are a product of later, like the Renaissance and things like that. No, they were very common and not common. They were done in the ancient world. Through the widespread introduction of the atmospheric engine in the mining industry, productivity is at an all-time high. Let's go ahead and use that to get closer to the water tube boiler. We are always going to be behind on research given that we are a very uneducated people here in Iran, so we will always want to utilize that. Why with painkillers instead of topical numbing? That's fair. I have my whole life I just had bottles of ibuprofen because I get headaches a lot, and they do solve a lot of those issues. They're moving on Chechnya as well. Yes, they are. Completely expected. Those are obviously our Muslim brothers there, but we can't do anything for them, unfortunately. Yeah, they're Sunni, but still. I don't think the ruling class would have wanted it. No, definitely not. Frustrated with a lengthy legal process surrounding religious schools, Hussein Bakanov of the Shia ulama has approached us with an offer to expedite the process, utilizing his personal connections within the state apparatus. Fine by me. Let's get this thing done. Quicker the better. What's up, Scobie? Our economy is up to 5.7 million. The concept of GDP actually doesn't exist during this time period. GDP didn't really exist as a concept until... Man, I read about this recently. World War I or World War II? I think World War II. right after World War II. During this time period, concepts like GDP don't exist. It's a fun metric for us because the line go up and it's nice. It gives you that serotonin and dopamine. But really, during this time period, all success in terms of national power in this metric is gauged through industrial power. So really what we want is buildings. And it does reflect that to a degree, but we're much more concerned about that. Not much just sitting here after a little bit of sober life. It's so boring. You're not drinking and smoking cigars, huh, Scobie? Sounds rough. Alright, hopefully compensate for the coal issue. Things are pretty quiet in Central Asia right now. Oh, the Ottomans are going after the Hejaz. Oh, Egypt is. Ooh. I really do want to expedite that play on Oman then. We're gonna have to go talk to the British really soon. We'll send an ambassador. Let's go talk to the East India Company, actually. Those are the ones we were told to go speak with for these sorts of things. Oh, we can't. They're all in a VC. So let's hop up there for a minute.
And with that is, well, me.
Well, like outside of saving the sick player, there's like no reason to. Like he's already expanding into Mali, so like he'll get opium. He can build his own silk. I think he should be more focusing on like Mediterranean dominance, where like Britain has enemies with Malta and Gibraltar, but like
yes, we know
he's just not doing that.
I need to go back. Sorry, I need to go back, but I'll go with what you've mentioned. We'll just wait. We won't attack them. We'll just wait for them to do something silly. I think we'll strike.
Could I speak with either the East India Company or the British government? Either one. Would that be possible?
East India Company.
Okay.
I'm here if you wish to speak to me.
Yes, I would like to speak with you regarding the situation in Oman. Obviously, Egypt is a fellow Muslim brother, but they are of course Sunni, and we are worried about their expansion currently into Arabia. We had previous discussions with the Foreign Office in London regarding the possibility of a Persian intervention into Oman. Obviously, we do have the power to get rid of the port in Laristan with the Omanis, but we think obviously bringing Oman under the influence and rule of Iran directly to oversee would be beneficial in potentially offsetting further Muslim expansion by the Ottomans and Egypt in Arabia. And given obviously the good friendship and cooperation between Britain and Iran, we would like to formally ask for the acceptance of obviously the British government. As we already expressed to the foreign minister in London, we'd be happy to obviously allow for the transferal of the Omani Trucial Coast to the British Empire or the East India Company for cooperation on this matter.
I believe the East India Company would want to see that Trucial Coast port probably be brought under us, but yes, we would agree with what you wish to do with Oman.
What about Gwandar?
Sorry?
What about Gwadar?
If possible, that would also be brought under the puppet of Oman or become a port of Iran directly.
That would be, yes, that would be fine. That would we ideally want to try and keep the Sikh Empire away from getting any sort of, yes.
Correct, they will attempt to make a foray, so I think obviously, again, Iran wants to reiterate that we do wish to cooperate heavily with the British first and foremost, and this would allow further cooperation.
Yes, we would agree with that.
In that case, if we were to start a play, would the East India Company be interested in joining so that we could obviously get you the Omani Trucial Coast?
Yes, I can dispatch a squadron and a regiment of troops to there as well.
Very well. In that case, let me begin the play.
Hello, East India Company.
Yes, hello.
This is the Sultan of Afghanistan. It's Emir.
Yes.
I was sent here by the British to sort out a way for me to get market access.
Are you able to join the play?
Yes, I can join the play.
And I was sent here to find a way.
I don't really know how to get market access to you, other than if you wanted to deal with the Sikh Empire, that would be the only
Well,
way.
there is another way, but it would require the Iranians or Iranians to accept an Afghan push into Kalat in Sindh.
That we would not be agreeable to.
No, I'd say I.
Presume there is no way to.
Out of RP, are you able to join it? Eastern Air Company.
Can you? It
You
won't
might
let
have to.
me join-
You have to declare an interest in Arabia, I think.
Oh, there you go. There, I think I've joined.
I don't think
think
interest
so.
declared after it going would.
Okay.
work.
Well, I've added a separate war goal to take the True Seal Coast, and then I can state transfer that to you. So that's
Yeah,
also an
that'll be
option.
fine.
Yeah.
I will dispatch you. Naval invasion. I need to be at war with them. Okay. I will be.
Oh, never mind. That's unfortunately not an option. They backed down and gave us the Larston coastline, so we'll have to wait.
Oh, that's fine.
No, in that case, we'll prepare another expedition in the future, and we'll ensure that you are obviously able to secure that port.
Easy way to say this, but
Yes, that would be most
look,
profitable. Yes,
you're a
we
simp.
agree with that.
Very well.
I'm gonna
Thank you for your time, and we will let you know when that is possible again in the future.
Yes, thank you.
Well, they backed down. That's fine. We'll wait to do that in the future then. Thank you for the sub, Turmeric Tea. I appreciate that, man. Everything is going very well. Hope everything is good with you. You're playing in that EU4 game. I've been here. I think you're playing that EU4 game, right, Turmeric, or am I wrong? I heard it's been going really well. The concept of GDP started to appear during the attempts at putting an end to the Great Depression. Right. Okay. So it was in the 30s then. Gotcha. Yeah, it looks really fun. I kind of wish I'd join it, but I just can't make the time. How many players are in the game right now? We have 41. We started with 50, but a lot of people dropped because of desyncs, unfortunately. Given that Vicky 3 is not the most stable right now. Sadly. Turn the music up a bit. How's the music for you guys? Can you hear the game music at all, or do I need to turn it up? Let me know. Try to pair one session's worth of AI. That'll do it. Give the AI a country for 5 minutes in Paradox, and it's just all over. You don't hear it at all. Fuck.
Hello. Here's His Holiness Pope Gregorius Capillari. I made an Oriental trip with
the Pope in Tehran?
The Prussians. Yes. I want to spread the word of Jesus Christ, the Lord and Savior, into the Orient. And I want to establish churches here.
The Mohammad Shah is unwilling to meet with you at this time. I'm the Grand Vizier. Unfortunately, you can relay anything you would like to me, as the Shah has no wish to discuss things with a heathen. What can I do for you?
With a what? With a what?
A heathen. You do not share the faith in the one true God, unfortunately.
But our goal is to change this, of course. Do you
Of course,
have some
what can I do
time
for you?
Jesus Christ, the Lord and the Savior?
In what capacity?
I want to speak with you about Jesus Christ, the Lord and the Savior.
I myself am a devout Muslim, and that will not be changing anytime soon. Did you have any formal diplomatic matters you wish to conduct here today?
Yes, I want to expand churches in Persia.
Currently,
And
we
I want
are
to
the
talk to
protector of many who hold the faith of the Orthodox Church, of which, of course, you do not have any dominion over, given they're fleeing from the persecution of the Russians.
Yes.
But given that they are not your flock to oversee, that would be a matter for the Patriarch of Moscow.
We need to expand the true branch of Christianity. And that's my mission. That's what God wants from me. In peace, of course. We love our next. So we want to build a church in Tehran with a bishop from the Papal States. Would you agree to such a thing?
I don't see any incentive for the Iranian state to do what you're requesting at this time. I thank you for the offer, though. It is a very worldly one.
May God guide you.
And you.
Let me pray before I leave for your land.
Perhaps we could pray together at the mosque if you would like to come with me, Your Holiness.
I would choose to enter the Orthodox Church instead.
Well, I suppose I will allow you to do that. We wish you the the best. I will have some of our guards ensure that you are kept safe while in Tehran.
Well, thank you for your hospitality at least. But do you allow me to pray for you and your guidance for 10
I
seconds?
too shall pray for your soul as well.
Sacris solemenis inucta sint gaudi gaudia reseda vetera.
Well, that was
I think His Holiness just died. I don't know.
Is he okay?
I can't control myself. Like I feel something in Latin for you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
No, the vampire found him like some text in Latin.
He's just reading out of a fucking Catholic book, or
Yeah, in Latin.
oh
yeah.
my god, yeah.
He already gone to the Ottomans. Did the same.
I saw. Oh god, all right. Fucking hell.
Brother, man, follow me.
I will. I just want to listen to this. 1 second. I have to make deals with Persia though. It's about
Oh, is this an ambassador from who?
Persia.
Ah. Greetings. I am the Grand Vizier to Mohammad Shah. Welcome to Tehran. What can I do for you?
It's great that you have personally time for me instead of this meet me in person, and not this heretic there in the Catholic heretic there. But,
we are a people of peace, and we always have time for the Christians. But anyway, what can I do for you?
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I came to speak to you about this. How should I say? I heard that there's a plant that produces a drug called opium.
There is a large quantity of it, and the many in Europe are certainly fans of it, shall we say?
Oh yes. And I came here to personally try it. And
a man who enjoys opium.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
In that case, I'm sure the Shah himself would wish to speak with you, as he is currently, shall we say, in his private chambers, enjoying it himself. If you would like to follow me.
Of course.
You get led deep into the palace, and there you find the Shah of Iran, enjoying the opium as well. He'll pass you the pipe. Welcome.
Yes.
What brings you here? A man of good taste, I see.
Yes. Well, the matter of opium brings me here, Shah.
A matter I know very well, indeed.
Yes. And first, I wanted to try it myself, and then maybe talk to you about maybe exporting it to Persia.
Report you back to Cusco.
He's clearly just zoned out and not listening anymore.
Oh.
You probably have to just, get his attention again. Opium's a hell of a drug.
Shah, listen to me.
What? Yes. Opium.
Sorry.
Yes, of course. Well, you're welcome to try some. Here you go.
Thank you.
It's very strong, though.
Let me take a drip quick 1 second. Fuck, I wanted to do it with my vape, but I think it didn't.
I heard something. Was that your vape?
Yeah, that was my
Fuck.
vape, yeah.
Nice.
But it didn't connect it. 1 second, I can... Okay, 1 second. Oh yeah, let me take a drip of this. Oh, that's wonderful. That's good stuff. Shah, are you listening?
What?
Shah, I just
Yes.
tried it.
Yes. It's wonderful. It's the way I relax these days. When I first took my current position, I had many matters to attend to, but the Grand Vizier, he's been nice enough to deal with many of them, and I get to enjoy the more enjoyable things in life. You said something about a deal for opium, I believe.
Yes, after trying it myself, I think it would be beneficial for us to maybe enter a trade agreement between our
You
nations.
wish us to sell opium to the Austrians, so we'd be happy to sell it to you.
To the Persians.
The who?
To the Prussians. I'm sorry, the
Ah.
opium cloud that judgment, it seems.
Right. Yes. We'd be happy to sell opium to the Dutch. We'd be more than willing to do so.
No, to the Prussians. Prussians, Shah. Prussia.
Ah, we could do that as well. We could sell to both of them.
No, only to Prussia.
Oh, an exclusive deal.
Yes.
Yes, we could do that.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Mm.
Did your scientists or researchers, I should say, found any applications outside of, clouding the judgment of one?
Well, I smoked it with my soldiers when I fought those damn chicken worshippers in Russia. It's good for soldiers, in the middle of combat. Just not too much of it, of course. That's where I picked the habit up myself. Took a. Why were you here again, though?
I'm here to make a deal with you for you to exclusively export opium to Prussia.
We could do that. Absolutely, we could do that.
In the middle of Europe.
Of course.
Yes.
How much opium do you want to buy?
Whatever you can offer us.
Well, we have many fields that we have not developed here. This matter is more for my Grand Vizier. He takes care of these matters. I tried to keep myself away from this. Now that you've tried it, perhaps you should go speak with him.
Yes, I will.
You're led back out of the room, and the Grand Vizier is just waiting there. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the Shah. He's a good man, just a little busy today. What were you speaking about?
Why am I here again?
Sorry?
Hello? Why am I here again? I feel a little bit clouded. I tried it myself.
I believe that you wish to enter some sort of a deal for exports.
Yes, exports. Yes. We were here. I'm here to get opium to Prussia. And the Shah did say you are the man to speak to.
We have many fields of opium that could be grown and produced and exported, but you understand that Iran is not a rich state, and to develop it would take much expansion of our infrastructure. Is this something that Prussia is willing to assist with?
Of course, if we can benefit from it, of course.
If you would like to subsidize the construction of opium fields, we'd be happy to exclusively export that to Prussian markets.
We would be happy to do that, of course.
It is something that can absolutely be arranged for of course, again, the proper sum. We'd be happy to do so. Do you have the acceptance of your government to sign a trade treaty and obviously provide funds for the development of the opium fields of northern Iran?
We do have that. I just need to wait till out of interest and shit.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. But I do have the authority, I believe, to do that once the interest is there. The papers are signed. Why are people
Very well.
again? So many people again.
And in that case, I am going to begin construction of the northern opium fields of Iran. And just let us know when you wish to undergo that.
Of course. Of course. I thank you for the talks. It was.
Of course. Ambassador, do you need someone to guide you out? You look a little hazy.
Yeah. I'm having a little bit of shaky.
Yeah, I understand. I don't partake in this stuff myself. I'll have someone see you out, Ambassador.
Can I get some opium though for my trip back?
Of course, complimentary of the state of Iran. We'd be happy to provide you some for your journey home.
Thank you.
Of course.
All right, I shall make my way back then and tell it to my king.
Very well, Ambassador. It was nice to speak with you.
Thank you. It was nice to speak with you as well. All right, have a nice day.
You as well. Cool. Well, the Prussians want to buy opium off of us, and we're happy to provide. So I guess we're going to build up our opium industry and export it all to Prussia. Fine by me. Anyway, there it is. We'll set up those fields very quickly. We could make a lot of money off of it. The only danger we have is if we produce enough of it, it might anger the East India Company. Is it opium in Afghanistan? Oh, it is. You can produce opium in Khorasan, in Mazandaran, in Turkmenia. You can produce in Khiva too, I think in Bukhara and Caucuses as well, and then the Sikhs in Kalat as well. This whole region up here, you can produce opium in all of it, so yeah. Lovely. Lovely. The French general staff wasn't buying opium for their soldiers to smoke, that's for sure. That's true. The Prussians apparently see things differently. So, there this goes. I also thank you for the Prime, Chiefs. Appreciate that, man. Why are we... There we go. Not paused anymore. All right, we have a lot of dyes, so we're going to go ahead and do dye workshops. And then we'll need more tools. We want to get some lathes going here as well. We produce lead, we can get more glass, and that will allow us to go for market squares, which would be very nice. Are they subsidizing us? Let's look. They are. We're getting subsidized by Prussia and France now. Wonderful for investments.
Hello.
Hello.
I am a diplomat from Afghanistan.
Ah, Ambassador, welcome.
Thank you. We, in Afghanistan, there is an increasing resentment against the British, with radicals increasing by the day. They have reached 400,000. The issue is that, meanwhile, we would probably prosper in their market. We have no way of reaching it, leading to economic stagnation as we cannot import or export anything. The Afghan state and the Afghan people will therefore request to join the Persian market in an attempt to save the well-being of our people.
We have a very deep cooperation with the British and their own market. We're not opposed to it, but we would not wish to do this without the cooperation of London.
We understand that, and we are going to ask the British later, but we first wanted to understand if you would object to it.
Given that the matter in Herat and the rogue Shah there has been dealt with, and you have formalized a proper government in Afghanistan, we wouldn't be opposed to this, and cooperation with the government that has been put in place there. So we would be open to it.
Then we shall.
We would have one matter though that we wish to say though.
I am listening.
We have several deals with European powers in regards to opium exports, so our condition would be Afghanistan does not at all cause issue by hurting our markets and our exports of that good.
We will not do that, as we will see on your market, and by joining your market, all the opium that we produce would go through you. Therefore, it would only increase your leverage in the opium producing.
It would, but you would be offsetting the income by Persian investors and money holders there. We would be fine with you producing a little bit, but we would demand that you obviously keep it at a reasonable rate so as the lion's share of the profits would go from Iran itself.
To be completely honest, we have not really been able to focus on it as we have trouble feeding our own people. As grain is not, as we have barely any farms and we can't import anything in the way of grain.
In that case, as long as you're okay with that for the future, then we have no issue with this.
Then I shall go speak with British. Oh, well, there the host left.
Oh, we got a rehost going, I think is what it is. Yep, rehost.
Yeah, then I'm gonna find the British.
Sounds good. All right, let's restart the game. Wow, this is getting interesting. You could pull the Uno Reversa card on the British by joining their market, flooding it with opium. Oh man, we need their permission for it though. And I really do want us to try and stay independent of the British market itself. We'll see if we can pull that off though. Easier said than done. They in the first talks I had with them before this game started, the British were really pushing for bringing us into their sphere and into their market. And even the prospect of a protectorate was floated. So we have to be very careful with how we cooperate with them. The Westerners, I mean, we would know this. The Westerners have a habit of starting off very reasonable and then just basically making countries do whatever they want in the East. So we have to be very, very wary of that. That's why I said earlier, the Afghan player is fucked up being a pup of the British. He is, yeah. So we'll see if they'll let him do that. We'll see. What's going to happen here is I can call this right now. We're going to get approached by the British to join their market is what's going to happen. They're going to ask for us to join their market so that he can export his goods through us. And we're not going to want to do that. The only way I would agree to that is if he basically would be willing to instigate a war in order to get us back to the territory in the Caucasus. In the meeting that I had with him prior, I made it clear I would be open to actually becoming a sole cooperative entity with Britain, but they would need to champion the returning of Iranian territory in the Caucasus, which they weren't willing to do, obviously, for the clear reason that they'd have to fight a war with Russia. So that would probably still be where we stand on that. Okay, wait for the hot join. He's posting it right now. But yeah, this is an interesting game, man. Who's backing Russia right now? No one. They are semi-cooperative with France, from what I've heard, but France obviously wants to work with us and a lot of other groups who are hostile to them, so it's a gray area. I think they're cooperating with the Qing, though. Last I checked, we can take a look at that when we're in game again. I think they were cooperating with the Qing. But in terms of great powers, I don't think they have a major ally or anything like that. Could be wrong, though. What they could do is British relations Afghanistan for RP reasons, but he still is a puppet. Yeah, that's what they could do. There is an East India Company player, Palazzo. Yeah, Charles is playing East India Company. There's a Sikh player, there's an Ottoman player, there's an Egyptian player, there's a Russian player, there's an Afghanistan player. So yeah, there's a lot of people around us right now. There's a lot of people around us. Makes it interesting, though. Oh yes, there's competition for opium, which is why I'm very surprised and happy that the Prussia approached us for an exclusive deal, because we can become the sole exporter of opium to Prussia, and if they expand in the future, since obviously they're a very prominent Middle European state, potentially their other sphere, so that could be a very lucrative deal. We can't compete with the British in terms of opium exports due to both Afghanistan and the East India Company exporting a lot of it, and China. But we could compete with places like Prussia and France for opium exports. So yeah, if we're careful here. The other thing we have in copious amounts is dyes. We could export a lot of dye too, which Europe will really be in demand for. Even with their colonies in places like Africa, they still struggle to get enough dyes. So we could export a lot of that too. Is it exclusive both ways? Now that is a very good question. I would assume so. That's a very good question, Palazzo. That needs to, I think another talk with the Prussians is warranted, actually. Very much. That's a good call, man. Thank you. I need to actually address that. I assumed it was two-way, but assumptions are dangerous in political deals, so yeah, we'll need to go double check that one. Fuck. Is this player peeking in, by the way? I don't have a whole lot to do, so I'm just looking on your stream. That's fine. Also give you a subscription since you've seen Wholesome, and it's easily the best RP game I've been in. Well, thank you. Glad you enjoy it, man. These games have gotten so lovely lately. The last two Vicky 3 games we've done, I've just had so much fun in, so I'm really happy where it's at. And this is with a broken Vicky 3 too. We're also working on a mod pack mod for Vicky 3 right now that will give us a bunch of other features in these games, so hopefully we can get that stabilized. Because I really love Vicky 3, man. I really do. That's all. I'm selling opium in the Khajiit RP. Yeah, in the Elder Kings game, right, Izodi? I've seen that. Pretty funny. Your skooma exports to Skyrim. Yep. Yep, I saw that. Fuck, I need to go piss again. I always need to go to the bathroom while I'm waiting to hot join a game, I swear. Every time. Every single time. There's so many bad reviews for Vicky 3, I don't think it's that bad. It's really not. It's buggy. It's an extremely bugged game. It needs a lot of bug fixes. It needs a lot of feature fixes, and it needs expansion and content. But it's a Paradox game, so it will come with time. I'm not like the type of person that's like, oh, this game is so perfect. It's not. But it's really good for what it is. And I have a great time with it, especially in multiplayer. So, how long will we be playing? We'll play for 4 hours, so we've got another hour and a half. Has it already been 2.5 hours? Oh man, it has. Yeah, we only have an hour and a half to go. Fuck. I know it's a good game when I look at the time and I'm like, shit, we're almost done. God damn. So. Turning Skyrim into a skooma den. Yeah. That's another really good game that's going on right now. I've been having fun with that one too. That moot was also deemed inconclusive last session, so Skyrim's still not united. We're gonna have a civil war. There's no way that doesn't happen at this point. It really does, Jimmy. No, nothing else after this today, unfortunately. No other games. We've got the Tuesday Vicky 3 game. I'm not playing in that one, but there's the Tuesday game right now, so. Yeah, EK2, I'm having so fun. Oh man. There's the 2 games I'm really actively playing in right now are just so good. I'm so happy where the server's at right now. Oh my god. I was thinking about that yesterday. All those times I was just like looking at the server and just being like, what the fuck? This isn't redeemable. And now like I play in games and it's just, there's problems, but it's really nice. Oh god. The hot joints. What's up, Jesus? Game's going really good. EU4 game is going well. I've heard the EU4 game's a lot of fun too. Kind of regret not being able to play in that one. But yeah, this game's really interesting. Really interesting. Let's go talk with the Prussians if they're around. I want to double check that. Actually, I'm gonna go to the bathroom first, and then I'll do that. So, be right back.
Hello.
I just got back. Whoa, who is this?
This is Kaiser Ferdinand of von Habsburg.
Ah, an ambassador from Austria. Welcome to Tehran. What can I do for you?
Well, we are very interested in this resource called OPium. We were in a very high-stakes meeting with the Prussian king regarding the future of Italy and German politics, and then he had this opium, and we had to cut the meeting short due to him unable to even know what the Italian people were, or the Russian. He was not able to know, and we're quite interested.
He's been enjoying it then, I see.
Yeah, he's a bit addicted. I'm concerned that he may do something irresponsible, but that is for another topic. But I am very interested. What is this opium?
It's a form. It's very similar to tobacco, I would say. Really, just a little bit stronger. It's a type of substance that you use to just relax and kind of just enjoy your day. He must have been, frankly, smoking quite a lot of it. My own Shah, I'm the Grand Vizier, of course. My own Shah, he uses it in order to relax from the hardships of work or running a state, of course. But yeah, it's just a little bit a more stronger tobacco-like substance would be how I would put it. There's many people within your country who might enjoy this.
Yes, I do think we could have this opium be used to help suppress some of the radicals. Maybe they would get addicted on this and not be sober enough to be doing acts against the state. And
Well, whatever you use it for is completely understandable. If we would be happy to supply it if you would like.
Yes, I think a small shipment of opium just for a minor test in a Hungarian or Croatian.
I'd be happy to send you home for your own Kaiser to try out some of this this product and see if they enjoy it. Iran would provide it for no cost, and if it is something that you're interested in, we'd be happy to discuss a possible export deal with Austria.
Very well. I'll be back in the future when the Kaiser has come to a conclusion.
Of course, I'll send you home with a large shipment. Again, we hope to hear from you soon.
Goodbye.
God damn it, man. That's hilarious. He's a narc, get out of there. My favorite part of the game so far has been retracing the voyage of Zengi and marrying my king to the daughter of the Mamluk Sultan. That's cool as fuck, Jesus. Goddamn. Sounds like a good one. Make Persia Persian again. What's up, Coco? One thing I don't get about Vic MP is how the thought of not having a chat box was a good decision. I don't understand it. I think it was to try and get rid of some of the toxicity that's in Paradox games, especially multiplayer. Anyone who has played in a Paradox multiplayer game on a casual server will just know how bad it is. And I think they wanted to get rid of that. This doesn't solve the issue though, that's the thing. It's kind of a cop-out if that's what they chose to do it for, because in my opinion, Paradox needs to be a little bit more engaged with their community and try and make it a bit more positive. Easier said than done, but there's things that they can do. I think it was trying to offset that. And it's good, I guess, that they're thinking about that, but I'm hoping that they'll still add it, because this doesn't solve any of the big issues, really. All right, well, I guess we're going to have to produce a lot more opium for exports, huh? Population consumption. We'll need to make an export deal. We actually don't have the bureaucracy for that, so we'll have to ask the Prussians to do the trade route. What are we producing now? It appears our own people are starting to use it, which we really don't want. We want to be exporting this. Encourage exports. We'll also probably put a consumption tax to decrease our own people using it. How much are we producing? 221. So let's see about opening up an export to the Prussians. Yeah, consumption tax. That's exactly what we want to do. That onto opium. And then we'll need more bureaucratic power. We'll export. We'll export, where is it? Opium. To the Prussian market. Do we make a profit on that though? We actually got it, we can. We don't make a profit though. Predicted price impact on opium and Persian markets. Reduction. Why do we not make a profit on that? Yeah, let's try it anyway. Because we don't have convoys. We'll stop importing iron. And let's see what happens. We want to wean our own people off of it. Trade route's very minor. He'll need to open up the trade route for it. That's what needs to happen. They fulfill the same need as opium. You have a lot of tobacco and liquor from food industries. Maybe you need to wait for demand in Prussian market to go up. That's true. If we start to export it to them, it'll probably just go up over time. Let's see. We'll need more iron too. We need more ports. We need more iron. All right, let me figure this out. We got to move a little bit more to a trade economy. We'll go for cargo ports, which will create a demand for clippers that... Are we meeting that? Probably not. Find out in a moment. We have more of them though. Well, professional army is not going to get passed, so let's stop that as well. Well, we could try and ban slavery, but that won't probably be passed. Could colonize, but that's pretty radical. Doesn't make a lot of sense for us. Man, we could colonize Africa, though. Oman has actually already colonized it. Wow. Go for mechanical tools. Let's see what's happening with opium. Yeah, it's slowly going up. It's expected to remain at the second level during for current conditions. We are now making a profit on it. Demand for opium is going up in Prussia. So we'll continue to export it. Let's go ahead and make more. Let's work on some of our other basic goods that we need first, though. We are going to need clippers, which means we can modernize our fishing industry in the southern coast. We'll build one in Laristan, which has an increased output for it. And then let's go ahead and compensate for some of our... I'm going to build an iron mine, because we'll be able to upgrade our glass production, and then we'll build another iron mine. We'll build 2 more. There we go. Easy money, just needed word to get outlaw. True. Time to build the modern Persian Empire. You know what? We will go for colonial exploitation. If we can establish colonies in Africa to compete with the Europeans, that would be very useful. We're a little late to the party, but still. Okay. Groups of production. We don't have enough tools. We'll go for atmospheric pumps on the lead mine when we complete it. We'll be able to go to fishing trawlers once we get those extra clippers. And then we're going to need more paper for more filing cabinets. Lead will help us there. And then we're just going to need more tools. So. Build another one of those. We can actually build another construction yard, to be honest. We'll get a bit more in our treasury built up, though. It's going up and up. Look at that. Do we have any more opium we can even export at this point? Yeah, we do. Up consumptions. We got the consumption tax on it. We've got the encouraged exports. Demand is going up in Prussia, so I assume that will just continue to go up. If we get another visit from the Austrians, perhaps we'll be able to export to their market, but well, we'll see. We'll see how much the Kaiser of Austria ends up liking it. Given that he's 48 and hated, he already has a psychological affliction, so I assume so. Yeah, fuck it. We can afford it. We'll do one more construction sector. Cool. We're in pretty good shape right now. It's up to level 4 already. Look at that. The profit on it is just going up and up and up because we're literally creating demand within Prussia. We're actually just creating the demand for this product as we export it to them. That's so cool how they do that. We're literally just getting Upper Germans addicted to opium. This is what this is right now. It's just wild, man. Damn. And we'll just continue to export more because as the value of it increases in Prussia, given we have a trade deal with them, it will become more valuable to export it to Prussia than to sell it to our own citizens, which will wean our own people off of it, which is good. So, yeah. This is why I like this game. It's so interesting the way you can do stuff like that. I mean, it's a little dark, I suppose, but it's, I don't know. I find it interesting. It just keeps going up. Look at that. My brother says dad is high on opium. What does that mean? Don't worry about it. It's not important. I can't even own the game, but I remember seeing a dev diary where they talked about demand changing for certain goods. Yeah, they try and make it very organic, and to a degree, they are kind of successful with it. It needs tweaked, obviously, but yeah. Oh man, that's wild. We need to create our own domestic arms industry so we don't have to be reliant on the Russians as well. We'll get to that when we're done with all this as well. We'll build one in Khuzestan. Are we able to do... No, we still can't do that play on Oman yet. So our economy like? Yeah, we're moving up. We're right by Mexico. That's not bad. A lot of radicals. I'd like to decrease taxes, but economic expansion is more important right now. Oh, the rural folk and the trade unions do not want colonial affairs. It'll take us a while. We'll see. Be hilarious that North Germans get a cultural obsession with opium. Can that actually change? Can you get cultural obsessions to change in this game? I haven't seen that yet. Oh man, it's up to 100. Look at that. It does. Wow. Depends on how expensive Russian arms are. If you can sell enough opium, it can be worth it to go all in there and import other things, but I have no clue. It could be, yes, but we want to become self-reliant militarily. The Shah has wanted us to professionalize the military for the last 5 years, but we've been unable to do so due to pushback. Oh, hello. The British are going to try and conquer part of the Sikhs. I guess the player must have left. I hope the player left. They shouldn't be doing that to just shouldn't be fucking over a player like that. Oh, he did leave. Man. It's a shame. We're gonna stay out of that, obviously. Completely. Its profitability just continues to go up. I don't think you can have them disappear. I'm a little annoyed that they chose to release 1.1 Monday. I would have liked to try it out during the weekend. That's true. Normally they don't release things like this on like the first days of the week. Paradox Studios doesn't have a habit of this. It's a very odd one. They tend to either do it later in the week or on weekends. Almost done with our shipyards. We'll use that obviously for fishing. We'll use it for exports of convoys. And shipping obviously to Europe, and that will also give us a chance to potentially build up a little bit of a navy too in the future, which would be very nice. We're not going to be any great naval power anytime soon, but having a little bit in order to protect our coastline would be quite nice. We'll finish all these and then we're going to export more opium. All right, it's stuck at 100 right now. I bet it's because we're out of convoys. Yep, we're out of convoys. That's why we need these shipyards to finish. We actually may need to upgrade our port too, because we only have one. Laristan is a natural bonus though. Natural harbors, a shipyard bonus output, and then max naval level increase as well. The shipping is cutting into our profits on those exports too, so those clippers will really help out with profitability. We'll need to upgrade the port after this too. Weeks. I'm gonna follow SEO 888. Need more iron too. What goes into production of ships and shipyards? I think it's wood, iron, and tools. Remember correctly. We'll look in a minute. We're gonna need another port. Okay, we'll work on that. See if that increased our profit on those exports. A little bit, yeah. Yeah, population consumption. Yeah, that's wild. So the economic priorities of ships are ships, drugs, and guns. Got it. Yeah, pretty much. Fabric as well, I believe. Does it? Let's take a look. Shipyards. Yeah, you're right. Fabric and wood. Wood is expensive. We'll need to produce more of that. We'll do all for just regular shipping. also means that we can go ahead and switch to modernized fishing. We'll go from simple fishing to fishing trawlers. We have the clippers for it. We just need to produce them. And then we're going to need to produce some more logging camps in order to offset the price there. Because, yeah, we need a lot more wood. To wait a little bit on some of this stuff. We'll do that. We are running a bit of a deficit. I'm gonna have to get rid of one of our factories here. I'm hoping what we can get is the Austrians to come back and talk to us, and then we can negotiate a deal where we can get subsidies from them in order, man. That's cool. What was I saying? In order to obviously export opium to the Austrians too. So that'd be nice. See if we can get away with that though. If it's a smart Kaiser, he's gonna stay far away from it. He's arrogant, he's got a psychological affliction, and he's an experienced political operator, so that's tough to say. Follow the American model and you'll be a great modern power. Sell guns, sell drugs, and fuck the law. It's a very effective foreign policy outlook. Or the policy of chaos, right? Chaos policy or whatever it's called. Fucking Kissinger's outlook on everything. Just get everyone so divided constantly that you can maneuver easily within it. It's a valid tactic. You know. He had a name for it. The fuck is that name for Kissinger's fucking thing? Kissinger's chaos policy. There's a name for it. I guess he doesn't have a name for it. It's chaos in the concert of powers. Basically, just keep everyone so chaotic and everyone so split and no one cooperating that you can just do whatever you want in all of it. To be fair, it only really works well if you're one of the major operating powers, which we are not, so there's that. Our quality of life has gone down because of the wood shortage. We really need to deal with that. So if we get another port and can export with more convoys, we should be able to up our exports of opium, theoretically. It's so fucking valuable. Kissinger was the Bush Jr.'s one, right? Yeah, he worked for Bush Jr. He worked for, who was the other one? He worked for Ford, I know that. He worked a bit for Ford too, I think. I think he worked for Nixon too. He's a fucking dick. Kissinger's an asshole, but he is smart. Nixon and Ford. It didn't actually work for Bush Jr., just Ford and Nixon, yeah. Whoa, thank you for the raid, Lou. Good to see you, man. How's it going, guys? You saw his movie. Yeah, Kissinger, he's an interesting guy. Absolute dick, but interesting guy. How's it going, folks? I'm Hammurabae. I'm a Paradox roleplay streamer, primarily. We are currently in the middle of a Iran game in Victoria 3. It's a big multiplayer game. We got like 44 people in this game. We are roleplaying, obviously, Mohammad Shah, the leader of Iran during this time period. This is the Gotcha period of Iran. Where it's ruled, obviously, as a monarchy. We are currently in the process of trying to industrialize, modernize. We're cooperating with the British, the French, and we are now cooperating with the Prussians, who, after a visit to Tehran, we managed to get hooked on opium, and we are now exporting massive amounts of opium to the Germans. So that's where we're at right now. Good to see you, Lou. Good to see you, Lou. Hope everything is good, my friend. Hope all is good. I saw you were streaming. Were you streaming that CK2 game for that campaign? Was that the one you were doing today? But yeah, we're trying to figure out how to export even more opium to the Germans right now. The government's attempt to pass the colonial exploitation law has brought the ethics of colonialism to the forefront of public debate. We're going to try and get that passed, so we're going to hopefully get that accepted. No, it failed. It backfired. All right, no colonialism for us. We really just cannot get a professional army, can we? It's the landowners. We may be stuck not being able to get that. That's really unfortunate. I think we'll get a civil war if we try and ban slavery. Also, our leader wouldn't want to do that, so we'll just try a small police force next. We'll go for that. Oh, do you mean about some possibilities? Yep, sounds good. Oh, you're brushing up on it beforehand. I got you, man. Fair enough, fair enough. Hope you had fun. So, man, you know, I sound like a broken record, but when are you going to come around to CK3, man? I know it's empty and I know you hate it, but those mods, dude, they're so good. More opium. Yes. Okay, we have another dockyard. We have another port. It is almost fully manned. We should be able to increase our exports. We have convoys now. I guess it's going to stay at level 5, which is fine. So let's find someone else to export our opium to. Well, there's always that. There's always the Qing. Well, the thing is, we're competing with the British and the EIC there, which might cause some issues. We didn't get permission to export to the Austrians. They were interested. Well, let's just see what happens if we try and export to the Qing. It's just not as valuable there. We're basically exporting to a market that's already being competed in very heavily, so that will be a little difficult. The Stormlight Archive mod does not sound like the worst, neither is the Game of Thrones mod, but like, yeah. The Elder Kings mod is really good. I don't know if you like Elder Scrolls lore, Lou, but that one's really good too. So, yeah. The mods, as with any Paradox game, make them, so I hope at some point you come around, because I think you will enjoy them. Just saying. Fuck. We need to get more of these, like, European markets. It's not valuable enough to export to the Qing. Ooh, I'm curious. Let me see. Are the French utilizing opium? They're not. I bet we could make a demand for it in France. Let's see if we can do that. We have free treaty with them. This might piss them off, but I want to see what happens here because I'm curious. I want to see if we can make demand for opium. Yes, we can. Look at that. We are making demand for opium in France. Because if you start to export opium to a market that doesn't have it in Vicky 3, people will start to demand it and want it. Addiction, right? So we should be able to do pretty well off of that. Yeah, Elder Kings of CK2 was my favorite. It was the mod I played the most out of any Paradox game, but the one in CK3 is fantastic too. They've done a very good job of it. All right, well, that works. Better than our own people using it, so. Back to our regular economy. We still need a lot of iron. And let's go ahead and get some fancy furniture. Go for luxury furniture production. And then we'll switch over one of our logging camps to do hardwood production. There we go. And this looks good. Need more tools. Man, this game, you're always missing everything, I swear. Maybe 2 Sicilies? I'm sure certain Sicilian individuals would be good at that. That is very true. How much more opium do we even have to export at this point, though? Oh, we're producing a lot of it. Our people don't have enough, but that's fine. We don't want them getting too hooked on it. Yeah, we're gonna need to make more plantations. Because how much are we currently exporting? Only 155. We can export more. Oh. Oh, man. He hasn't embargoed us yet. You know what we can do? To fuck with our good friends in Russia. See if we can make a demand for opium in Russia. Yes, we can. I'm going to cut off our exports to the Qing, and we're going to put all of our exports onto the Prussians, the French, and the Russians. Yep. We have a border too, so we can just literally just walk all that opium right across the border to Russia. So that's perfect. Opium time. Hell yeah. It's one of our greatest strengths. I mean, the other good that we have that we can export a lot of would be dyes, which we'll get into. but that will require more official deals, obviously. Even with a consumption tax and an export focus, we still have a bit of a problem right now of our people doing a lot of opium. Unfortunate. The Azerbaijani opium traffickers, yeah. Well, they're obviously our greatest rival. I mean, we hate the Russians for recent events, so if we can screw with them a little bit, we absolutely are going to do that. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that. Oh, look at that demand. Oh, man. The Russian market's completely untapped. We have no competition. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. It's a lot of untapped untapped people there. Make sure you have tobacco and beverages available and cheap. Yes, that is very true. We actually don't have tobacco. We need like Basra or something for that. So, and we're Muslims, so our people won't drink liquor. So we need to like import, I suppose, tobacco to offset that, don't we? Let's see if we can open up an import route for tobacco in order to give our people access to cheap serotonin. We'll export from Bahrain. That's not too expensive. It's also not a lot. Let's go ahead, and when we're done with these things, let's open up a paper mill in Tabriz, a sulfur mine in Khuzestan, and with that extra paper, we'll be able to increase our bureaucracy to compensate for more trade deals that we might want to make here. So we'll do that. Is there a way to get rid of taboos? Taboos? You mean with cultures, right? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe if there's like a widespread religion shift or something. Like, for example, Persian has the taboo of liquor and wine, since being Muslim, obviously you're not supposed to drink. I suppose you might be able to get rid of them if a lot of these people were converted to like another religion. I don't know if the game is that in depth. Might be possible. Not too sure about that one. It's a good question. I actually don't know, man. Defeating the Russians by getting it addicted. We'll see what we can do. They're not importing more from us, though. We're making a profit, because that basically is going to offset our own opium usage, I would imagine. Let's check. So do we have the tools for this yet? We don't. Okay. I thought I made a lead mine. Did I not do that? No, I did. There's just not a demand for it. So let's go ahead and switch over to leaded glass. And then we'll go for market squares as well. In the EU4 game, I'm exporting my paper worldwide as far as Constantinople. It's very valuable in EU4. It's really valuable in Victoria 3 because there are certain goods that you have to pay for. Your government is responsible for paying for it, not the industry itself. Governmental buildings are paid for by the state, and it uses paper, so you have to pay for it, meaning you have an incentive to decrease the costs of paper in your country. So, all right, 55 minutes left of this game. Are there any downsides of your population being addicted to opium gameplay-wise, like reducing population or something like that? They spend lots of money on it. So what happens is every single population in Vicky 3 has an amount of money based on their income, which they utilize for things based on priority. When people start demanding and wanting opium, they will not prioritize their basic necessities like wood for cooking, clothing to keep themselves warm, etc. So they will prioritize things like opium over buying their basic goods, which decreases your standard of living and create widespread radicalism. So it basically means just like think about like a real drug addict. Like, what do they do if you're addicted to a substance? You will prioritize that substance over basic goods you need to get by and have a semi-good quality of life, even if you're poor, right? And the game reflects that. So yeah, it's like real life in that sense. It's kind of depressing, but yeah. Let's work on empiricism so we can up our education. We need to expand our school access. Well, we never heard back from the Austrians. That's unfortunate. So no more opium exports to them. Yeah, see, the price of opium is going down because people are utilizing tobacco instead. Yep. We'll need more bureaucratic power before we can do anything with that. Ah, the France has started to import opium from the Persian market. They open up a trade route with us too then, I think. Yep. All right, the arms industry, we'll get that completed, then we won't have to rely on Russian artillery anymore, and then we'll get the paper mills going and we'll upgrade our bureaucracy. We really need more tools too. Yep. You could go for steel tools. We'd be able to produce a lot more, but we need a steel mill. Actually, wouldn't be a bad idea. See how much that would reduce our iron by 60. Yeah, why not? We'll build a steel mill in Britsh. Cool. All this stuff is really just like every building has a different cost. We're making really high, I wouldn't say high tech. Maybe that's the right way to put it. These are very expensive buildings to build, but they're really necessary for our economy. So this will take us a little while. It's really cheap to build things like plantations. Like we can build a fuck ton of opium for really cheap, but we'll want to wait on that. Man, we doubled our economy in 6 years. That's pretty cool. We started off with a 4 million GDP and we're up to 8. And we got the police force, which is good, but that is going to cost us bureaucratic power, which we don't have. So we really need to get that paper, which we'll get in 22 weeks. And then we're going to need more coal too. We're at that point, we're just needing everything all the time. Some real shit's going on in Brazil. The Pope appears to have turned up and banned slavery in Brazil. Yeah, they banned slavery. I mean, they're Catholics there, so I guess the Pope has a lot of influence. I saw earlier that Mexico was like literally in his market. Yeah, the papal market. Oh man. Oh, uh-oh. Lahish. All right, we're gonna make that play for the Omanis if we can now. We still can't. We're waiting on that. These guys are getting gobbled up by the Egyptians. This is becoming an issue. It looks like Oman is entering into this. We need to go talk to the British right now. Hello?
How much would it
Iran's in here. Hold on, Iran's in here.
We are growing very concerned over this Egyptian expansion in Arabia.
Yeah,
This is
we were
getting
just
out of
talking about
hand.
this.
Yep.
Good.
We're gonna.
Continue.
Well, what's Persia's view?
Iran would like to obviously have a degree of containment here. Egypt's dramatic expansion in Arabia is growing out of hand. We feel as though their current state of sphere in Arabia is more than enough and would like to frankly see them stand down here.
Would you support we don't want to join this war, but potentially we could strike back for territories that the G have occupied.
We would be very interested in involving ourselves to curtail Egyptian influence here. And obviously given some form of Iranian benefit, we would be happy to support the Brits in this.
I think that is perfect because even though the Persians and the Ottomans have been enemies in the past, I believe that the most important enemy that both nations have right now is Russia. And
I like to think that the current relationship between the Shah and the Sultan is at least an amicable one at present.
That would be great to hear. If so, then I believe we should something we can do, and this is I hope of the utmost secrecy. We should strike against the Egyptian provinces, Levant, while the war in Europe is happening. So, that way
I think I need to. Sorry. I think we might have to do 2 plays like we separate time.
Why?
Like I need the I need a lot of claims for the journal entry. And
Would
so
you be opposed to also obviously Iran bringing these Arabian states into our own sphere to offset the Egyptians here? At least in Arabia, given I assume the Ottomans will be taking back their claims in the Levant.
Yes. We could split Arabia. I don't know.
We'd be fine with you having Jabal Shamar, of course, and the northern region of Hejaz, as long as you obviously allow the Iranians to control the southern states in Arabia, if that would be acceptable to you.
Okay, so
given that you would obviously make promises to safeguard Shias who wish to take the Hajj to Mecca, of course.
Right, of course. Yes, that we can do that.
That'd be completely agreeable to us then.
Okay, let's make sure everybody has an interest in the Egyptian area, if you don't already.
Yes, but yeah, and we need to do this soon. The war in Europe is about to start. Let's wait until it starts and let's go on it.
Okay, I just changed my production method over, so it's going to
the war didn't occur.
But you can still send. You can, like, if we do 2 fronts like Tripolitania and then the Ottoman land, it should be easy.
So this is an issue because the war in Europe didn't happen.
Right now?
Well, I don't know if Europe would intervene.
Well, we are not too sure. The Austrians, the Austrians and the French might wish to intervene.
Since the war is ongoing right now, or as soon as they start it, that would probably be the time to make this happen.
No, it didn't start.
Yeah,
they backed down.
I can talk to Austria, but I know Prussia is going against Austria.
We have a very good relationship, trading relationship with the Prussians. If we talk to them, we might be able to get them to stay out of it. I think the major potential issue might be French involvement here.
Yes, we potentially really need. Do we know if the French are sympathetic to the Austrians?
Hold on, do they even have an interest?
Sorry, to the French, to the Egyptian.
Where's the map mode to see the region? Diplomatic actions. Can anyone see if France even has an interest in Egypt?
They probably do.
There's a way to do that.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Under diplomacy.
Or if you like have your mouse.
Yeah, interests. Arabia, they have Arabia. Yep, they do.
But what about Egypt? Like the Central Egypt?
They have Nile.
Okay. I don't know if I think France is a little inept. I'm going to be honest with you.
That's a dangerous assumption to make. I mean, there's a big coalition here, but a war with France would be disastrous for everyone involved.
No. I think France won't join. That's what I'm saying.
No,
I'll talk to France. Why don't Persia? You talk to. I'll go talk to France.
Yeah, if the other nations in Europe stay neutral, we would support this. We cannot get into a war with France. It would go against.
Oh, they're all talking in one channel.
Yeah, but that's clearly because of the recent.
Yeah.
So. This is understandably upsetting, though.
So, what is it? Joining your customs union. Can I do that, or is that a no?
If the Ottomans are alright. Oh, okay, yeah. If we do the play, once the play is done, I think.
Yeah.
And we can go ahead with this.
Vince, would you be fine if I joined in a customs union with the British, or?
I mean, I personally don't like it, but.
I mean, I'm not gonna go to war with you or anything. It's just a customs union. I don't mean it to be as like an alliance or anything.
They're doing another war for Mara.
let's do
They're just going through this. I mean, I think at this point, if we make it happen and Europe gets involved, we make it very clear that they're just literally eating Arabia. Like, they just started another one just now. They're going right through it with their armies.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
All right, everyone, let's go. Diplomacy activate.
I have one flotilla. I can join.
Let's talk. Let me talk.
This would be good too, because then I'm not passing these bureaucratic reforms.
I'm not sure if I can make a diplomatic play against them for some reason here.
I mean, I can. Do you have an interest?
I do. It's not letting me for some reason. If you start it and you, if you potentially just like annex Ned, then you could state transfer it to me or something. Or.
Well,
something.
I think we're gonna have to do. I don't know, because it's a lot of war goals I have.
It is.
So I don't know. We might have to do it, in two separate things. Aleppo, Syria. It's a lot.
I can do it now. I'm good.
Okay.
Let me know when you guys are gonna.
Well, GB went somewhere.
Yep.
Oh, he's going to talk to France. Yeah, that's fair. I don't picture France getting involved. I feel
it's
like
tough
there's
to
too
say.
much stuff going on.
They have a lot of other interests going on right now, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go talk to Austria, I guess.
Sounds good. I'll go back in RNVC. Yeah, so this Egyptian expansion is just insane. I mean, they conquered most of Arabia here. So I guess the dividing line is that the Ottomans will get the Jabal Shamal region, Hejaz, the Levant. We're going to get all of Yemen into our influence, and then the rest of Arabia here. Besides the Trucial States, of course, which is under the British. So, I mean, that we'll come out of that pretty all right. These regions definitely would be nice to have under our control. We obviously will want to just make sure that Mecca and Medina are safeguarded by the Ottomans and that we don't have any issues with potential Shia issues there. They're a Sunni country. I mean, we're amicable with them right now, but there have been many issues in history with Sunni or Shia administration of the holy sites and potentially not letting other groups in or causing them issues. So we'd have to be careful with that. Yeah, they want their land back, and I don't blame them. I mean, Egypt is just, I don't know what they're doing here. They've just painted a target on their back with this stuff. It's kind of crazy. They've gotten all this under their influence here. So, not the wisest state of affairs for them. Oh, paper production. The intelligentsia find it difficult to find the cheap paper they need to immortalize their thoughts. They want us to import some. We've got the ability to do that, so let's go ahead actually. We'll import some paper. We'll import cheap Prussian paper. We have a trade deal with them. Cool. Actually have a lot of bureaucracy, but I think, no. I want to wait. When we get education, we'll go for that. But in the meanwhile, is there anything else we really need to import right now? Clothing would be nice to import if we can get it for cheap. Get it from really cheap from Makran, because it's really cheap labor. With no convoys on that either. And then we'll import a little bit of Prussian clothing too. Furniture, we'll import some from France. And then iron we'll hold on to for now. What about, we'll import some really cheap food and grain from the Qing as well. We have the convoys for it, so why not? What's up, Jacob? I'll ask you about what's going on in the V1.8 series release for Millennium Dawn. There's a current session, which has a high chance of ending before the 1.8 release. So will there be a mini RP between the 1.8, or will be a hiatus on MDRPs? We'll have to start a new one when 1.8 comes out. Did they announce when it's coming out? Did they already do that? I didn't see that. I haven't kept up with their development much. I haven't looked at their announcements. Let me see. I thought they hadn't announced the release yet, Jacob. Or am I wrong? It doesn't look like they bothered to RP it too much either. No, they didn't, so I don't have much sympathy for those guys right now. Alright, we'll go ahead and we'll get some coal we're working on. We need another glass factory, that's what we need. Debris. And then let's go ahead and make some more clothing domestically. Yeah, that's it will be the first week of January. Really? Oh, I did not know that. Okay, then yeah, we'll have to start a new game when that happens. 1.8 is a massive update. The link you gave me, I don't see any announcement about 1.8, Jacob. They said a patch, they didn't say 1.8. There's a difference, man. I don't think that's 1.8. They just said it's going to be a patch. For the patch, we also may have to restart. I'll talk to Bird about it, but we'll have to see. Yeah, I don't think that's 1.8, man. As far as I'm aware, 1.8 is still planned for sometime close to next summer. Yeah. From what I've seen, they're not even close to getting that done. It's probably going to be one of the biggest MD updates ever. So it'll probably be a while. We'll see. See if we can import more tobacco too. We'll import some really cheap stuff from the Qing. And then we need more furniture as well. We really need clothing, we really need furniture, and we need a little bit more of these other cheap goods, because we have to increase our quality of life. It's pretty low right now. We got to really work on that. Alright, we're producing steel, so we're going to go ahead and transition to steel tools, which will free up some more iron as well. Yep, there we go. Balanced everything out quite nicely. We're just missing some coal, which demand will come in for us, so we should compensate there as well. Nothing heard back from the British. I'm still not sure if we're going to war here or not. We just don't have the people for it. We need a lot of engineers. This is why we've really need a higher quality education, which we're trying to get to right now. We'll have to get line infantry, and then we'll go for empiricism. Might be worth building a university here too pretty soon when we get a bit more paper. Slowly going up. Slowly but surely. The most productive steel mills in the world. Nice. We are breaking a profit, barely. There we go. Means our tool production should have gone up. Yep. Oh, Prussian. And why is Prussian consumption down on?
It's made a play. So.
Sounds good. I will open one up myself then.
Geez, the channel's full. Hold on.
I have to declare neutrality, I think, at this one. And then... Is there a way to find like other because there's a lot of things I could declare on, and I don't want to just declare on one of these. I want to declare on something else. Do I have to take a treaty port?
Oh no, I can't. I can't demand everything. I'm out of maneuvers.
I have to demand a treaty port. Is there? Do you know? Is there a way in the menu to like demand something that doesn't show up at the bottom? Because I want to demand transfer state.
I can. I think I have to offer you.
No, because I'm doing it. I have to do it. I'm doing a separate one. I think right now.
Oh.
Because I can't get demands if it's with you. I'll just demand one of these, and then I just won't enforce it. Is what I'll do. Need to write up a little, what's it called? Ploy 2. Diplomacy tab?
He left.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure this out. Diplomacy tab. That doesn't show up. I'll open the play. Transfer subject. Ned. Transfer subject. Mara. Transfer subject. What else are we wanting? Theory. Transfer subject. Laish. Transfer subject. Did I do liberate? I really hope not. Yep, transfer all those. And then... I'll just demand war reparations as well. I want to see if I can get the East India Company in this one to help me out, though. Since we're doing a joint war with the British, and I have to do a separate war, would the East India Company be willing to assist me in this?
Who are you fighting?
Egypt. It's been organized with the British and the Ottomans and us, so.
Yeah, sure, I'll join, yeah.
Cool. Can you join the play?
Yeah, I think I'm already in the play.
You gotta accept it. You gotta declare.
Oh, it's only possible during diplomatic play, it seems.
It still isn't the diplomatic maneuvers. You're looking at mine, right?
Oh wait, which one's wait, there's only one going on for my eyes.
It's the one with Persia and the Egypt, right?
I've got the only one I've got is the Egypt and the Ottoman one.
Declare neutrality in that one.
Okay.
And then do you see another one now?
Oh.
Oh, god damn it.
I do have you added to interest. Maybe I
So
need.
click on him. and then go to his
Oh, I
diplomacy.
see it, I see it, I see it, I see it.
And
Okay,
then
there you go,
declare.
there you go, I'm in.
Perfect, cool. There we go.
I will
Alright.
mobilize.
Sweet, perfect. Yeah, we had to do a couple separate wars, so I just want to make sure that I can actually win this one.
That's
so,
fine.
yeah, cool.
Need to mobilize my army.
I don't have a front, so I think there'll have to be a naval invasion. Yep. Unless I can get access to. If we're in a joint war with the Ottomans, I might be able to go through them. Not too sure.
I think the Ottomans back down.
They back down? Oh, because they got given what they wanted.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's so AIDS. What the fuck?
Oh man.
Why didn't they go for like Aleppo or something? Why that?
They took Aleppo.
No, they took Adana, not Aleppo.
Oh my
the,
god, what?
The Ottomans take Aleppo.
Oh, Ottomans took Aleppo.
Oh.
Mr. Shah of Iran,
What can I do for you?
I would like to know who is your richest rich man?
Our richest rich man.
Yes.
Probably the Shah himself.
Well, my Shah is a very wealthy man, I will be quite honest with you. His name is Mirza Gazi. Iravani is also a very wealthy man, in addition to me. In addition to my Shah, I apologize.
What if I told you the Siamese rich man have...
One second, I gotta focus on this so we get this done right. The British are fighting their own war with them, right? Just to make sure. Because if not, I hope that they'll enter into the war here with us.
Britain.
Let me go check. I gotta make sure I don't get screwed here.
Like, Egypt needed time to find someone to help him, and like he could like offer, say, to become a dominion under someone or anything, just to not be partitioned like that. You need to give him time to do.
He map painted in Arabia, dude. He did no roleplay for this. He just took the whole Arabian Peninsula, which is why this is happening.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like, take a look at Arabia. Look at that. He just went one after the other after other. That's the problem here.
Yeah, that's true.
On that note, is Britain doing a separate war? If not, can we get assistance in ours? I just want to figure out what's going on here.
Oh, okay.
If you can sway.
He also took a bunch of.
I would actually allow for someone to do cuts down to size almost against Egypt.
Because he took a bunch of Ethiopia too. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but like, it's just that the whole world would, the great powers.
Yeah. The Haiti players lagging the game behind.
Okay.
So Britain, are you doing a separate war? Or are you fighting in this one with me? Like,
I want to do a separate war because I want to get an ultimatum for.
I thought we were rehosting. It's
And
today.
We already did two.
I'm not in the game right now.
Who's the one? Sapos. Who is he?
All right, the British will be doing a separate war. You have a navy, right? You're able to navally invade because given that they stood down with the Ottomans, I don't have a front anymore.
Yes, I do have a navy, but it's not that big.
That's fine. They don't have much of a navy. We just need to be able to. Actually, they do 30 ships. The British will be fighting them too, so they should be able to deal with their navy, and then we can land in Arabia.
Are you landed in the Jed? I'm guessing. Oh, they back down.
They did. What did I even ask for? Oh my God! They gave me the fucking. I had to use the treaty port in Transjordan to get access to the war, and they backed down. So I got a treaty port I didn't fucking want. God damn it!
You should have gone for the Suez.
No.
You blew it.
You can take their goods. Look at what things they're producing. Take their market.
I know I can do that. This is not what I wanted. By the way, do you guys know if I want to declare a war with someone and it only pops up the like treaty port or like the annexed war goals, how do I get to just demanding a transfer like a puppet or something instead? Because I don't want to do these sorts of war goals.
I'm not sure why it's like that for you.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
unsure.
It might be your relation with them.
Yes, you need to have a low relation, and then you can also go to diplomatic plays, and it's called transfer subject.
Diplomatic plays. I'm a dumbass.
You're welcome.
Oh my God. Yeah, I just never use this menu.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it, Badger. Thank you.
As always, Badger coming on top.
Oh, god damn it. Alright, I was a dumbass. I completely forgot about diplomatic place. God damn it.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, he backed down. Let's go. You guys are in you're in Tehran right now. Is that intentional?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Well, you're welcome to hang out, but you are in Iran currently. I was just away on business.
I just we've been taking care of your Persian carpets for you.
Ah, we have another product that you might want to import. It's called OPium. Have you heard about it?
Have you heard about this? We want to try some?
It's really good. You might find that it's impossible to stop using. In fact.
Oh dear.
Oh god.
It's food for thought.
And the soul. No way.
Did the Ottomans start the diplomatic play on Egypt? Oh, they did? Wow. Fuck. I did not see that. When did we got Aleppo?
So what's happening with everyone leaving or getting kicked right now?
Maybe we're doing a rehost. That makes no sense. There's 20 minutes left of the game, so I'm not too sure.
20 minutes left, and we might as well just call it quits. But I don't know.
Hastings kicked you? What the fuck is going on right now?
No, I haven't been kicked.
No, yeah, someone in my chat. Sorry, I'm streaming. It's just someone in the game. What the fuck?
You are streaming?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not talking to myself. I promise.
I think they are kicking people that are lagging.
Ah. Okay.
I don't know how I'm not being kicked, so I am lucky. Because for me, I'm lagging. For me, like when I put my mouse in there, I see that I'm behind people.
Yeah.
I'm getting lucky.
Yeah, you're roughly 5 days behind, but
Man, this Egypt makes me nervous, man. This looks like a new caliph.
There's a coalition. The Brits, the Ottomans, and the Iranians were all just gonna cut him down to size here, so what's happening. We're just gonna wait for the truce to end.
Ah,
He backed down on everyone. I fucked up and I got a treaty port in Jordan, which I didn't want.
You got the treaty port on Jordan?
Yeah, I was being really stupid. Yep.
yeah, I was wondering about that.
Oh, okay. I thought that at one point that the French were bankrolling Egypt, I think too, but now they are not.
Egypt's kind of made themselves a bit of a pariah here with their actions, to be honest.
Yeah. No, they were like just let me take some of Ethiopian, let me take some of Arabian.
They ate almost all of Arabia and a huge chunk of Ethiopia. I mean, it's not that they don't have
Like-
claims on that per se, but you know.
The Ottomans and us were like, man, we need to do something. The Ottomans were getting really pissed because Egypt came to the delegation in Constantinople, but they tried to talk to Turkey, but it did not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Turkey, the Ottomans don't have much of a liking for the Egyptians right now, from what I've seen.
No, we don't like. They don't like.
Oh, sweet, just got a free university. Yay.
What?
I got the event which gave me a free university.
And you get the industrialist, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm trying not to blow up. Oh my people like me. I have another 1,000.
Yeah, we can state transfer to the Ottomans if we want to, but they need to give us Arabia. I'm gonna try and work I guess when this game's done, we'll try and discuss it with the Egyptian player. But yeah, I didn't want to do that. If he's willing, I'll just exchange that to him with the Nesh region, but I don't know if he'll be up for that. If not, we're just gonna have to fight another war with him in a little bit. If he keeps standing down though, there's no way that we can really get this stuff back from him. And I have a truce with with Oman for a little bit here, so Bahrain we're gonna want to secure as well. But we'll need a navy before we can do that. Or Nisht. We'll need that region. Bucharest importing a lot from us. Bucharest is a very valuable economy. It really sucks that we're not going to be able to get that. I do want to approach with the British about securing that for our economy at some point. Are we able to? We would need to have really good relations with them. Which, we need cordial, but they're amicable. It'll just take time, I guess. You can always save edit it, keep, if he keeps backing down, he can drag this out if he wants to be gamey. Yeah, we'll talk with the GC. I don't want to just completely screw him out of everything. I don't want the Ottomans or the Brits to do that either, but to be fair, he just painted. Let me go see, did he do any roleplay statements? He might have. I might have missed it. Let me look. Completely possible I just missed it. To be honest, I don't do RP statements in game anymore. I just do mega posts in between games. So if he does something like that, I understand, but I don't know. Nope, no statements either. I mean, I backed up all my actions today because I made like a 4-page like newspaper that I put like 3 hours into making. It was actually, I really enjoyed making it. I'm going to make another one this week as well. No statements. Pump. Slaughterhouses. Not enough tools for harvesting tools, unfortunately. Line infantry we'll need. And that will create a demand for artillery, which do we have? No, we're gonna need a lot more guns. Look at that. We have enough artillery, but we're gonna need more guns. We're gonna need to import it. We'll import it from the Brits for now. High quality, and we have a deal with them, so. No, he hasn't RP'd with us at all. We have, to be fair though, we have a lot of new players in this game, and I just don't want to write them off. Oh my god, our economy is almost as big as theirs. I don't want to write off a lot of these guys. A lot of folks I think may just need a little bit of time to understand how we do things. There's a lot of people who join our games and don't kind of know how they go, and they just don't know they're supposed to be doing this stuff. So it might just need that he needs to just, you know, hopefully the GC just has a little talk with him, makes him understand kind of how this goes. I want to reiterate though, I mean, I like, if he's like doing like internal narrative and he writes some big post in the week, that's fine, but no. We're ahead of Korea and Sardinia now. That's not bad. Our quality of life is not that great though. Oh man, we gotta do something about this deficit. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lower governmental wages and military wages to break even, and then I'm going to increase taxes. So let's see if we can implement any laws here. Let's try professional military again. Man, it's so difficult. The landowners really don't want this to pass, but we're going to try it again. There's always a chance we can push it through. There we go. We have a lot of convoys still available. We do have bureaucratic power. Import a bit of tea from Egypt. Do Macron. We don't have to use convoys for that. We'll import wood. I don't really want to support the Russians. We'll import some from Kalat. We'll import more iron from French. We'll import... We're good with that. Cool. We'll improve, make a little bit more luxury furniture as well. And we'll just need a little bit more hardwood too. At this point, a civil war may be beneficiary to curb the landowner's power, but that would be a weird RP. It wouldn't make any sense because he secured power basically having to fight the landowners, and as such, he would probably have been placating them for all this time now. The Gajars, the leaders, are also famous for doing lots of opium, so in his later life, it would be the Grand Vizier who would be doing most stuff right now, so we got to keep that in mind too. Oh, what's going on? Okay, we'll do the last 3 of these textile mills. We're going to need a bit more coal. And then we're going to need some more tools. And then we're going to go back to producing opium. Because we can make them for very cheap. How's the stability of the game been? What's up, Chip? Not bad. I expected it to be much worse. It's not too bad. It's definitely doable. We have desyncs. We have people who desync and stuff like that. Because this is also a pretty big game. We've dropped a lot. We started with 50. A good number of players have desynced and dropped, unfortunately, because the game's not super stable. But it's playable. Alright, the truce is up. Let's go ahead and start the play for Oman. We'll go for... We're going to conquer the Trucial Coast, and we're going to transfer that to the East India Company. And then we're going to make Oman a subject. We'll conquer, actually, no, we can't do that. Take treaty port. Baluchistan, and then we're going to make vassal Oman. Fuck, if I hadn't done that, I actually could have offered them the Trucial Straits directly. So. Go ask the EIC to join us. Where's he at? Greetings to the leader of the East India Company. This is an envoy from Persia. We are conducting our engagement with Oman, wherein we will be transferring you the Trucial States. Are you ready to enter into that war with us? Governor Benjamin? Please tell me he's not AFK right now. Oh, I'm muted. I apologize. I'm definitely muted. We are entering into our play to take Oman, and we will be transferring you the Trucial States. Are you okay to go into
Great Britain is not here.
Oh no, he's talking to me. Yeah,
I'm talking to the East
okay.
India Company.
Yeah.
Very well. Wonderful.
That is fine. I will support that.
All right, and you entered the play. Perfect. I actually could have actually called you in with that. I didn't think, but I can just state transfer it to you, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Don't mobilize. I don't want them to stand down here. I'm gonna do the same.
Oh. Egypt is mobilizing?
They're fighting a different war.
Oh, they're fighting in Ethiopia. Okay, I see.
And that dude really, the GC needs to talk to him. Or so.
That's.
I mean, no offense.
He keeps getting around the wars by just backing down, so he can just conquer quicker than like people could demand stuff from him.
I mean, he's not been posting diplomatic plays, I don't think.
Yeah.
I haven't either, to be fair, besides the one, like, I do in between sessions, but...
I mean, no, the thing is, the Egypt play needs to be talked to, because he's about to eat all of Ethiopia, and that's, like...
enough,
that's not particularly good for him to just eat all of Ethiopia.
Okay.
What is interesting is Jackson got a third term in this one.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, look, Jackson's still
Oh my
in
god, he
charge.
did. They did take a bunch from
I
Mexico.
saw that in the American diplomatic play against Mexico, saying Jackson got elected for a third term, goes to war with Mexico.
Fuck. Oh, that's
Joe,
accurate, Jackson. He's really disliked too.
I mean, to be fair, I think in his later term, I don't think he was.
Man, that's a terrifying concept. Jackson without term limits. That is actually terrifying.
I mean, maybe
That's how you get a dictator permanently.
Maybe he is the dictator now.
I think he is. All right, they're not backing down, so let's mobilize.
Okay.
Hammurabi?
Sorry?
Hammurabi? Look at my leader. Look what happened. It's kind of funny with the RP we did beforehand. With the
Opium addict, he got it.
Yeah,
Oh my god. He actually got it.
You got opium addict?
I've been exporting opium to Prussia, and the Kaiser got addicted to opium in the game. He's got actual opium addicts. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my god.
We actually appeared it as well. Like I tried it and stuff.
You're gonna have to do a naval invasion, by the way, EIC. Just heads up.
I will.
He lost a lot of his popularity. People just kind of don't care.
Neutral, yeah. Opium addict minus 25. He's lost all of his prestige with his addiction.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Right, I'm preparing a landing.
Okay, as soon as you land, I'll go in.
Who's my generals that are landing? I've got a Irish and a Scottish landing.
I don't think we'll have much trouble with the Omanis, the governor, but just in case, my troops are ready to cross as soon as you establish a beachhead. I think Iran really needs to establish a navy here at some point, too.
Yes.
How many days till you land?
17 days. Until I'm landing in 2 places.
The Shah himself will be leading troops. It's been quite a while. The last war he fought was with the Russians.
There should not be much resistance against Oman.
Slavs have risen up in Fars. They are not a significant force yet, and there are multiple ways to approach them. We are not going to negotiate. Alright, there you go. Oh no. How's your offense this low? Do you have military equipment?
Yeah, I should do. Why is that low? Let me have a look at what reason. Oh, there is a naval battle. That might be why.
No, it's you just don't have any offense at all. Insufficient naval support. Yeah, it's the battle, you're right. You should crush them, though. They actually have a navy. I didn't realize that. They do have a small flotilla.
Oh, yeah, the small flotilla.
Yep. Well, if you've broken their navy, another one will definitely succeed. There we go. All right. You've got another landing in the south. That's getting pushed back too. The hell is insufficient naval invasion support? You have enough ships to garrison your fleet, right?
I'm lacking in that. I've been focusing on convoys a lot. I need to probably fix
No,
that.
you just don't have any military supplies. You don't have ammunition. You don't have small arms. You don't have artillery. You're really missing ammunition. That's the issue.
That's the British market. I think that's the issue. Ah, there you go.
I think one of the issues with the British market regarding the arms industry is the relative lack of hardwood, because hardwood is incredibly expensive right now.
Yeah, that's the issue. I've been having to import.
Yes.
I can see about expanding my logging and exporting you the British market some hardwood, but it will take time.
Yes. I could
I mean,
switch
yeah,
over to hardwood, but that was part of the deal with Siam to resolve an obligation. But I think they are also working on expanding their hardwood.
Very well. Well, I think if we keep battering them down, they will run out of troops before we do. Bandit. So there's only 2 minutes left of the game. We might not complete this today.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yep. Not having a crossing is very problematic. Are you able to import like ammunition into the British market?
I am doing that.
You're also missing our man.
Surprisingly,
I must say I'm pretty shocked to see that the IC is not maintaining a surplus of military goods for the British Empire.
That's because a lot of my guns has been sent to, well, Britain itself.
Understandable.
They have like over, right, I'm importing.
Oh. How big is your navy itself, Charles?
Only 30 flotillas.
You are navally invading with the 15 flotillas, not the small one, right?
Yes, both of my fleets I have are 50.
How many troops are you navally invading with? Because you need to make sure you invade with an army that's of an equal size. If you try and dump 60 troops in with 15 ships, it just won't work.
Yes, why I'm raising a new general to
Gotcha,
see
cool.
if I can get a lower ranking person to do it.
There's not enough ships.
Who would?
I think the game's done for the day, though. Oh, damn it. This one's a really fun one. Goddamn. Grab the save.
Well, I guess we can continue that because I just found a general that would give me enough troops so I can do.
We'll win it next time. Alright, cool. I'll be back in a second. Alright, as the game is over for the day, I'm really sad. Man, these Sunday Vicky 3 games are just so fucking good right now. I really wish they went longer, but it's not really fair for us to do that. Alright, let's go find someone to raid. We are going to end for today. See if there is anyone I know streaming. No, doesn't look like it. Odd. I really like Vicky 3 Bandit. I'm a huge fan. Good to see you, by the way, dude. Yeah, no one I follow is streaming right now on this Sunday. That's surprising. Yeah. Let's go see if there's any good Victoria 3 streams. It's a shame you didn't get the 10 million GDP. Yep, so close, Shadow. Victoria 3. There we go. There's only a couple people streaming it right now. Damn. Holy shit, there's only 7 people streaming Vicky 3 right now? That is crazy. Any of these look interesting. We got a guy who's playing Ethiopia. Let's go raid him. Brunsonator. That's so weird. This guy's doing some Ethiopia, which is really hard. So we'll go. Maybe it'll be a good stream. Hopefully for you guys, if you want to stick around, check that out. Thank you, Bandit. I appreciate that, man. So I will not be back streaming until Friday. Like I said, I'm only streaming 2 days a week from now on for a lot of reasons. I may up that in the future. I've actually caught up with a lot of what I needed to do IRL. So Friday, I am streaming more Elder Kings, and I will stream more of the Iran single-player stuff as well. I was going to do it this Friday, and I had something come up with the person I'm kind of seeing right now, so I had to go do something. And then, obviously, this game will continue next Sunday. And I will probably start another campaign of something pretty soon, too. We'll see if I have the time for it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am, because holy shit, these Sunday Vicky 3 games are so fucking fun. So, all right, thanks for watching, guys.